We return week 5, NFHell. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Midwest Jet, your host, where we talk about how shitty, how bad, how good, how on a wave some of our teams are, but basically we're in NFL. That's what we do here. I am joined by Dames Marvs. You can kind of see him. He's in here. He's here in a power outage.
Bad weather, gentlemen.
Ooh.
Bad weather. But this is how much we care about the show.
We're here during a storm. Gobo, Denver, Colorado, tuning in, NFL.
It's officially the spooky season, and this is our first spooky edition with Dames in the Dark. So thank you for joining us.
You're the best ventriloquist I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys look all frozen on this.
Freeze it.
Okay, wait.
There we go.
Okay, now you're moving. All right,
he's back. Last but not least, my brother from the same mother, G-Man Jas. How you doing?
I'm in hell, guys. I'm in hell.
NFL.
I'm in hell.
Welcome back.
Motherfucker.
Welcome back. The first section we like to start with is the news. Don't forget, here in a little bit, we'll talk about Let's Tell the Truth, Ricky's picks at the end. We're going to start off with some news. We like to start off this show with a Hall of Famer playing in the lovely state of Colorado, or playing, I shouldn't say coaching. Prime time. Man, what a game that was, actually. What a game. I thought they were going to come back and win it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you running the fucking ball in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left? Down 2 scores. What the fuck are you doing?
No, man.
Were you playing for the victory? What the hell, dude?
I don't. Right. Like, at that point, I'm like, are you trying to teach your son like a life lesson here? That like it's like a turtle and hare fucking situation. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. They were cooking, man. They were coming back. They could have pulled it off.
I know they had so much momentum. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they just let him. I'm like, bro, USC, is getting gashed right here. You guys could do this, and he's just like, nah.
Right.
I want my son to learn how to lose.
I know it's one of those things where you're like, Dion? Question mark? Like, what are you doing, Dick? Kind of, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. To me, I was like, yeah, who's in charge here? And then the announcers were even saying shit about like they were saying about the offensive court. Well, he's not getting. I'm like, the coach is in charge, man. Like, giddy up, let's go, pass. I don't know. I don't believe it.
It's officially Deion Sanders' first 2-loss collegiate season.
Wow. So we can't do that. We'll see how they do. I feel like they learned a lot from this game moving forward. I like talking about Dion, so his kid's doing great.
It's made college football in Colorado interesting again, so I love it.
Yep. Also, we're going to talk about some other NFL fiery news. What coaches we think are on the hot seat after only the first few weeks of the season? What coaches are feeling a little warm? Gobo, who you got?
Eberflus. I learned his name last episode, and then I watched him completely shit the bed again. We'll talk more about it at the Broncos-Bears recap, but like, I think they brought him in with some level of expectation, and I don't know. I feel like you get a 12-year-old playing Madden and he's going to make the same play calls. So, yeah, man, Eberflus gotta go. I hate to see the Bears improve, but so if I had my choice, they'd keep him.
Right. When James brought this segment up today, he's like, "We should talk about these coaches." My first person I thought of was Zach Taylor. I know Burrow's hurt. I get that. If he's that hurt, he shouldn't be playing. If he is playing, then you need to be protecting him better, having shorter passes, getting Chase involved. I don't know. You got to do something as a head coach. You've been so close all those years. I kind of feel like it's I'm not comparing him to Andy Reid, but remember when Andy Reid would take the Eagles to the title game, and finally, then he went to Super Bowl, they lost. They were like, they got rid of him. I mean, all that winning, and they still get rid of him. So it's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? Zach Taylor, hot seat. Dames, who you got in mind?
McDaniels, #1 coach that needs to be fired.
Yes. I'm down with that.
For several years now.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, so I'd say, yeah, fire. G-Man, who you got? Who's your hot seat?
Guys, I talked about this hot seat starting possibly after 2 home losses as a coach, and now the great Bill Belichick has his largest defeat in his coaching career for the Patriots, getting absolutely destroyed and dominated by my division opponent, the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, he's going to have a pretty long leash compared to you guys are talking about, but the match is at least under the seat, starting to warm it because, like Jail said, what have you done for me lately? And man, they just got destroyed. Go ahead, Dames.
So you're saying 2 losses at home and a huge blowout. Daboll's on the seat then too.
Right.
I mean, 2 home losses.
That could be true.
Coming blowout.
That could be true.
Here's what I think, though. I didn't say that in seriousness. I think the problem there with him in the situation, and it was frustration on his face visibly. I think that he would have rather given money to Saquon and then see what you have in Daniel Jones this year with the franchise, knowing that this year's quarterback class is going to be one of the elite quarterback classes, maybe ever. So he's stuck. And I know that this was a second job that he wanted, the Chargers job originally, but they gave it to somebody else. And so he took this job because he wanted to be a head coach. And now he's tied to, we'll get into all that, because I don't think Daniel Jones, you guys know where I'm at with quarterbacks. Like, I'd rather have Daniel Jones than Mac Jones? Yes. But I still don't think that we look at it that way, because there's just quarterbacks that are on. I mean, look at the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks of the last decade. I mean, they're Hall of Famers.
Right.
So when I say Mac Jones or Daniel Jones isn't the problem, he might have been yesterday. I don't know. But it's not saying they're not the reason you're getting to a Super Bowl. I'm saying you have bigger problems that are keeping you from winning games than those guys. So, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
Much bigger problems.
Fascinating. So
much bigger problems.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. Tell us below what you guys are thinking. Who's on the hot seat? Again,
I did want to say,
the
Chargers guy. The Chargers guy might. I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, he might be on the hot seat. At which point, I mean, Coach Dable might be like, "Hey, I don't want to be stuck here. I'm resigning. Anybody want to give up some picks for me?" And then he could go to the Chargers. It's a possibility.
The media is already driving Dave's fucking insane. So yeah, I can only imagine he doesn't want to be here much during these times. So, fix it and get the team moving in the right direction.
And that's
you heard it here first, guys. Dayball to the Chargers. Dayball to the Chargers. Coach of the year, right. This week, we'll see who gets on the hot seat. There's probably a few coaches that are going to be lucky because there's a few buys this week. Anybody have the list of who is not playing?
You do.
Dames, the Seahawks are not playing.
Wait, I got the list here. Hang on.
Browns, Bucks,
and Chargers.
Okay, so Herbie Hancock will have a break this week. So when we, obviously we do our predictions. That's why we didn't say those teams.
He has a broken finger. He has a broken finger, by the way. His non-throwing hand.
Oh my God! The power's back! Let there be light!
What?
We
Let
made
there be
it to show today, gentlemen.
Oh, I thought we were going to get out of here early.
I'm looking at the
Oh,
battery's like 9% on my computer. I'm like, oh, come
I
on.
was like, we can't have much longer on that. Okay. Well, I guess we can do the show.
I
Well,
can like this.
funny how we go to that because then we were just going to say hearts and thoughts. Russ Francis passed away. Dames, you know a little bit more about this story than I.
I don't. I mean, he was a tight end. He was drafted by New England originally. Played for a couple different teams. He was with the Super Bowl team. Beat the Dolphins. With the Niners. He was a tight end and crashed his plane.
Yeah, hold the mustache. I tell you what.
What's that?
Oh, me? Yeah, he had a hell of a mustache. I tell you what.
Mustache. Okay, well, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Also, NFL hell.
Yes.
Or the NFL.
NFL
Or
hell.
the NFL.
So, what was it?
Hell,
Week
hell.
2? Jess pointed out that there was another person in the search. When you search NFL, another show came up with similar, fire at the bottom. And, we reached out to him and said, hey, we're NFHell. We will talk about you on our show and let people know that you're there. You don't follow the same format as us. You kind of just talk about teams that are tanking, which I mean, that's the point.
Which is what we've been doing the whole time. Because
literally that's the format.
So
He's NFL hell.
Here's to you. There's no hard feelings. Stop using our fucking name. I'm just kidding. Thank you for being courteous when I reached out to you. And ladies and gentlemen watching this program, it's less than 10 minutes. And it's called NFL Hell. There you go.
Right down below.
Identity theft is not.
This is a kinky episode, gentlemen.
Whoa, cool.
He
Now
left and he came back.
and you came back in my screen on a different spot. Now you're
Yeah, me too. Now you went from top over here.
Can I move you? Can I move? Oh, it's still recording though, right? Okay, well.
Nobody.
Okay, so
let's tell the truth.
I'll just start my section over. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So my truth this week is going to be pretty predictable, honestly. We had a real opportunity to take control of the division if we could have upset the Lions at home. Didn't happen. Our offensive line looked like trash. Jordan Love made some bad reads. I thought the defense played pretty good, but they're just the Lions kind of just worked us a little bit, especially in that first half. And now we're kind of I'm back to, it's like I'm not in like NF hell right now. I'm just kind of like perpetually in NF purgatory. So I'm just like, what exactly are my expectations for this team? And it's kind of a weird feeling because it's like I still want them to win, but like I don't really have faith that they will. So we got a couple of easy games coming up. So I think my truth is that the Lions are who we thought they were, and they're probably going to win the division.
All right. Ghost, thanks for telling us your truth. Make sure you're telling us your truths down below in the comments about your teams. Some great conversations with one of our regulars, Jason. He tunes in quite a bit, so we had some good conversations about his Cowboys. I will start off, or I will go next with my truth. I've been kind of waiting to say this all week on NFL. Is week 1 for the Jets. I felt like we lost that game, even though we won it. This week, I feel like it was almost the opposite feeling where we lost the game, but it kind of felt like we won. We played really well against the Chiefs. We hung with them. Mahomes had one of his worst games ever. Zach Wilson outplayed him. But then the hard truth is that the Chiefs still won the game. Like, so it's like one of those things where you're like, in one regard, you're like, holy shit, like if that's the best team, that's one of the top teams you should be able to compete with. Wow. But then on the other hand, when Mahomes plays that bad and they still win, that's scary. So my truth is, I guess, is just I want to see some more, going forward. What does this team really look like? Is Zach Wilson the real deal?
Can I respond to you?
Yeah, you may.
I would take it easy on yourself there, because I would say, why did Patrick Mahomes play bad? Was he sick? Was he ailed in any way? I would say he was harassed by a pretty good defense.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say, same thing with Daniel Jones. I mean, harassed. Why was he bad? Because people were up his nuts as soon as the ball was snapped.
Right.
So, just look at it. It was a good game. I thought Zach Wilson played sensationally, honestly.
Right. That's the best. I mean, that's the best I felt. I mean, I'm sure, well, all of the viewers, thanks to T Swift, got to actually see his best performance of his life as an NFL quarterback. So turn some
Do I
heads
think
there.
it's going to be the norm? No, I don't. But
I hope so, but I don't know.
It could.
You never know. All right. James, we'll just let you continue to kind of go on here and we can get to your truth this week about your Seahawks.
Sure. My truth, there's a few. My truth is, normally when the schedule comes out, I look at it, I circle the big games, and I kind of scratch out and plan events around games against like the Cardinals. If I have to do something and I have to miss a game, I don't really enjoy watching us play bad teams. That said, the team we played last night was a playoff winner and last year, on the road winner. So I don't consider them a bad team. I still don't. I know that there's a lot of media out there right now saying otherwise. But when I look at that schedule, I also look at the bye week. And I'm not a fan of having a bye week in the first 5 weeks of the season. However, my truth is, Phil Haynes, Damian Lewis, Jamal Adams, Jaron Reed, Abe Lucas, Charles Cross, Kobe Bryant, Artie Burns, Nick Belair, McClendon Curtis, Ben Brown, Trey Brown, Mike Morris, Brian Moore, Geno Smith, all on our injury report. That's half our fucking team. And Jess wished me luck last night, and I said back to him, same to you, buddy. Let's get through this without injuries. And that was the tail of the first half of the game.
That was bad.
So my truth is, this week, I'm fucking glad to be on a bye week, because I've been wanting nothing more than to see this team at full tilt. My second truth, and it's not quite there. It might be my real truth next week or a week following, depending on what happens. But Jamal Adams, are you done?
He's glass.
I mean, you see what happened?
He's glass. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, that was legit. The dude just is flying around. That's his problem.
Dude, he's a missile, dude.
Reckless abandon. I mean,
like 3 plays, he's just blowing shit up, and then he's just done.
He played 9 plays in the game, and I'm like, holy shit.
He disrupted like 8 of them.
Dude,
he plays an older style of ball, and it's just like players who play like that just have an expiration date.
You know how many times LT probably got a concussion in a game, and there was no protocol.
He went to the fucking bench and did a line and
came back. Like, yeah, LT. It's kind of easy to ignore a concussion with the nose candy, from what I've heard.
Hey.
So,
are you concussed?
LT concussed people. LT concussed people. He didn't.
Oh shit! All right.
Brain. He didn't have a real brain. Anyway, I'm glad there's a bye week this week. Holy shit. Thank God.
Wow, nice shoe. That's a really good one, James. I'm giving some props on that. It's funny. I mean, it's funny. Like I would never like. It's a funny one.
Not funny.
I mean, it is. It's convenient then for you because you're so beat up that you have it. That's nice. G-Man, truth. Do I need to go make a pizza, or is this gonna be short and sweet?
Guys, there was one positive from this game I was going to tell you guys about before I get into my truth here. We had a lineman by the name of Matt Peart and a lineman by the name of Neil. What the fuck his first name is. But if you put Neil and Peart next to each other, they're one of the greatest drummers of all time. So there was a positive within all of this game, and that was it. And that's the truth, guys. That's the truth, guys. Another game just like the Cowboys game, basically. Came down to 3 plays that kind of just made this game turn over. First drive, 4th and 1, we marched down the field. We're gonna go do the old Philadelphia shove or whatever they're calling it now, and
Push.
the Philly shove, and they stop us. They fucking get under. They create a wall, and it doesn't look like anybody can push Daniel Jones. He's kind of just stuck there, and it's like I've never not seen this thing work. It worked 18 times in a row. On 3rd or 4th and 1, Daniel Jones converted it. So I'm not going to say we shouldn't have attempted that, but we just got to give the defense props. So that's the first big play of the game. It kind of changed some things. And then we also injured 2 players on that play. And we were already out Andrew Thomas and Saquon Barkley, of course, our best 2 players on offense. So we're not a team deep enough to be able to handle those guys being gone. This is another truth. Fumble, Daniel Jones, our own 14 gets pressured out. You know, the guy ran by him, and there's other guys coming at him. I mean, this one's on Daniel Jones. It's his fault. Should have tucked that and ran or just threw it out immediately because you had to know someone was behind you, and he was acting like he's going to throw it or something. Like, didn't feel the pressure at all. So they get that, score a touchdown. So that one's really not on the defense. They only had 7 yards to go. Threw it to Metcalf. And then the third big play, obviously, we're going down to score on the 3-yard line. And what do? Oh, let's throw it to Waller, our best player that we got. No, don't throw it to Waller. Let's throw it underneath. And fucking rookie boy with 2 sacks already, pick 6, 97 yards to the house. Like first rookie ever or first player ever to fucking do that in their first however many games or whatever. I got a storm coming through here, guys. So if I'm cutting out, I'm sorry. It's starting to rain pretty heavy. Can't hear it. Our O-line sucks. Got sacked 11 times. The record's 12. Only 4 times in history or something. So that's the truth. Our O-line sucks. We need Andrew Thomas back. Please come back. And we gotta show up. Gotta show up, guys. I took all the current players off my wall today. These are just Super Bowl winners behind me and myself. You guys don't fucking deserve to be on this wall until you can start playing what looks like professional fucking football. Okay? Let's go. Daves, you ain't going to fucking Chargers. Stay here and get this shit going.
Talk about the truth. NFHell, that's why I'm pretty sure that's kind of where the name came from, because that is the type of shit that happens every week. All of us have felt that here on the show. If you're tuning in and you have a team, I'm pretty sure you felt that way at some point, unless you're with well, actually, the Patriots now suck. So,
I was like, the Patriots aren't held this year.
Yeah, finally. Before we move on to our picks from last week, our little recap, we do want to make sure you stick around, gamble responsibly. Ricky's picks will be on, up, and ready to go. Follow along as Ricky continues to make those picks. What's that?
Our Midwest Jet. Just to let everybody know that if they were $100 better with the bets Ricky has turned in so far, you'd be up $350.
Ooh.
in
Ricky.
4 weeks.
Oh, Ricky, it's fine you win us money. Hey, Ricky.
I better start doing that because I'm not up 350 this in 3 weeks. That's for sure.
I
Keep
bet
your
once in a
emotional
while.
better.
Fucking, I bet the wrong week on the Jet. Like, seriously, come on, guys. All right,
The only line that the Jets didn't cover this year. Yeah.
yeah.
I hit the HN bet $1 for 35. The dollar parlays, man. You can hit them once in a while.
All right. Let's get to these recaps. Again, thanks for playing along at home. We see you, we hear you. Thank you. We're going to start off Thursday night football. Gobo, Green Bay, at home. God damn it.
And what was your record?
I mean, yeah, we're still 2-2. It's not the worst thing. Painful to watch. That is our 4th consecutive loss to the Lions. Which never feels good to lose to a division foe, especially one that you've really kind of dominated over the last, several decades. Yeah, so I mean, Detroit, it's kind of their time right now. Montgomery looked really good. Amon-Ra dropped a couple of passes, but he's still I think he's a top tier wideout. Jared Goff, he's still got some gas. Like he's kind of vibing with the new system. I still don't give much credit to Dan Campbell as a coach. I know that you guys will probably disagree with me. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think Detroit should be dominating most games rather than keeping it close. But I think, they definitely they showed up on Thursday, and Jordan Love he made some bonehead calls. Jones didn't really break out. The offensive line, I know that I'm mimicking Jas, but like our offensive line is just in real peril right now. They really got to get it together. So I think our defense looks pretty good. I think the defense will keep us competitive this season. But yeah, we got to find a way to show up for games like that.
Yeah, so you and Dames Marves are the two that took the pack at home, trying to think they would get that home win. You both finished 10-6 on the week, by the way.
Ooh.
So that's kind of cool that you both did that. If you would have both maybe flipped it, Dames Marves, you picked the pack. Any thoughts on that game, that Thursday night game? No. To add? No. Okay. All right. G-Man Jas went 10-6 as well. So you three hit the same numbers, but G-Man Jas did pick Detroit, as did I. I went 11-5 this week, game to game. So G-Man, you have anything to add to this Lions pack first Thursday night?
I do think well, it is a good coach because if you kind of look at where Goff was before, and then he leaves and that team wins the Super Bowl, like most people are going to say Goff is probably on a Tannehill level, maybe, I mean, a little above, obviously, because the Lions do have a pretty good roster, but to be able to win on the road in Lambeau, I don't care, who you guys have. It's something that the Lions don't do. So if he can get them up to do that, superior lineup or not, I think he's doing a good job. But Lions are going to be tough. They play in the trenches good, and Aiden Hutchinson is a man.
Right, and I would add one thing I noticed about the Lions, and I feel like I noticed this the first game, and I don't know what happened that one game, but their running game, as soon as Montgomery hits that dam, I'm like, the first run of every game is like 5 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, and he's just hitting that shit hard. Like, I'm like, and that then opens up that Goff passing game where he doesn't have to look, he doesn't have to be, guys are wide open because they're all sneaking in there for that run. So I just feel like
you got 8 in the box. You're stacked for the run. Yeah, and you don't got to be perfect to gash a defense when they're like that. So I said Goff played well. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, but he definitely had a great game.
Oh, dude, I have much respect for Jared Goff, but that was the key to Seattle beating the Lions, was stopping that run game.
Mm-hmm.
Because that made them one dimensional. And when you do, anybody that does that is going to be in trouble. So
Yep. All right, moving on to the London game. I didn't get up early enough to watch some of this game. I mean, I think I got up and I was like, nah.
That's the
Only one guy picked Atlanta. That was G-men. The rest of us took the winning team, Jacksonville. Dames, you want to start with this one? Like I said, I mean, this game was just kind of like Atlanta, Jacksonville, back to last year.
Yeah, Jacksonville is kind of the home team over there. Because they played there like 6 times.
Yeah.
I was not surprised at the outcome. The Toy Story stuff was a little weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, just
I love this conversation because I'm like, I want to know what people.
let me explain why.
Oh,
I just feel like trying to get little kids to spend money on the NFL like at 5 years old. It's just weird, dude. It's weird. It's creepy.
I mean, I was probably spending money at 5 years old on jet shit.
Yeah. The little helmets and the gumball machines.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I had a little hutch.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I say that knowing that at 2 years old I'm running around.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
Right.
Large.
Yeah.
exactly.
Honestly, the Toy Story element of the game was the only thing that elicited emotional reaction from me. Just because it was so frustrating. They had like so many technical issues that I was like watching the game and just like you couldn't see what was going on. And then they're like, "Oh, Calvin Ridley touchdown." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't fucking do this." Like I'm turning the game on, and then it was as entertaining to watch the real game. So
Well,
Yeah, how are they supposed to say Big Dick Lawrence? I mean Woody.
big Woody Lawrence.
Big Woody Lawrence. I don't know if you guys at home or you guys know this, but Jacksonville actually is staying over there, and then they have another
They're playing
road game there this weekend. Like, what the fuck? That is, to me, that's like kind of BS. Like,
Just
you literally,
move the team.
yeah. And then like, who would want to play there though? I feel like, I don't know. I would like, you're going to be over there the whole time, and like, you always have to fly. Like, oh my, you fly to the U.S. and probably have 4 away games in a row, and then go home and get 4. Like, talk about it paying the base.
Playoffs
I mean,
would
if
suck.
they're in a division that's on the East Coast, I mean, how long is that flight from London to like New York? Like 4 or 5 hours?
6.
6? Okay, that's the same amount of flight from like
Okay, good point.
San Diego or
Yeah. Good
There's no-
point. Touche.
And good food. I mean,
Yeah. It's true.
That's debatable, but yeah.
Boom. All right. We go to a division game in my division, Miami, Buffalo. Gobo is the only one who took Buffalo. Again, I feel like this is deja vu from last year. Or especially Dame's taking the Miami hype train. We're all hopping on it. Woo, look at them go. They scored 70 points. They can't be touched. They're so good. No one can stop them. And then literally the next week, Gobo called it. Gobo, your thoughts on this Buffalo-Miami game?
Yeah, it's like I've been saying, guys, Miami doesn't have a defense. Like the Broncos are that inept and they still put up 20 points on them. I was like, Buffalo was not going to struggle in this game. So I never believed the Miami hype train for a second. Like Tua, he's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. They got 2 really prolific receivers, and it doesn't matter how they get going when you got a functional defense and a good offense in the Buffalo Bills. I honestly, Stephon Diggs balled out, which dude balls out. It's not like a huge surprise that he's going to play a great game. So yeah, fuck the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Fuck the Dolphins. I'm with you on that too. So I don't really have anything to add, except because I picked the Dolphins, and now I once again feel dumb because I hate picking Tua, and I was kind of like, now I'm back on the hate train. I'm back on the hate train. G-Man, anything to add to this?
Yeah, won't get fooled again. Fuck you, Tua. Buffalo, you got to remember who Josh Allen is. He's a winner. They win a lot of games. Why am I picking Miami on the road? I don't know. NFL, lot the hype. Buffalo's a good team. Miami's still good, but
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah, we're not saying, oh my God, they're not good. But
Achan, his name is Devin Achan, not Achan, by the way.
Yep, good point. Good call out. Yeah, he had them actually. Yeah, the announcers and everybody change it because they were pronouncing it wrong. He had to like make a point of it. I heard that.
He
Yeah.
had to finally he had a good game, so then he's like, "Hey, now they're talking to me.
Yeah.
I can tell him my name."
James, do you have anything you want to throw at this game?
Yeah, I mean, while I appreciate you speaking for me about why and how I picked the Dolphins,
I mean, you do love Tua. I remember last year
I
you
still
loved.
love Tua.
Okay.
Got sacked 4 times and picked off another time, and he was harassed a whole bunch of other times. I didn't pick this game because I thought Miami had good defense. I picked them because I thought it was going to be a shootout that they could win. I was wrong. Move on.
Right, move on. All right. Minnesota. We all took them on the road at Carolina, and they came through. We all picked a pretty close game, and I would say Harrison Smith. Thank you. He was on my fantasy team and had like 1 billion points on defense. So, it might be his best game he's had in the last 10 years. And he's the oldest he's ever been. G-Man?
I mean, if you guys are trying to find out if there'll be a MVP, let's not a quarterback. Justin Jefferson, another couple touchdowns, on pace for a bazillion yards again this year. McCaffrey, him. There's only a handful of people that can put up huge numbers that can maybe pose a threat to a quarterback as an MVP. Tyreek Hill, but Vikings on the road. Carolina's just not that good, regardless who's at quarterback. Minnesota, desperate, got their first win of the year.
James.
I honestly think Carolina brought Bryce Young back a week too early, especially after the Red Rifle threw for almost 400 yards against a team that pressured him over 30 times. It didn't really translate into sacks, but I think we're getting there. But yeah, dude. Kirk Cousins sucks. I mean,
Do we want him to go to the Jets still, or
dude, here's
Copying
I
Gobo.
want him to go to the Jets. I think you're more invested than we are.
we will talk about that because
fuck Kirk Cousins, dude.
Fuck
I mean,
I don't like Kirk.
19 for 139, two tutties, 2 picks.
No,
That's
not good enough. Not good
probably a
enough.
fumble too.
I was gonna say literally the same thing. I was like, I think that it was just like, yeah, Bryce Young totally was not ready to be back on the field, and then Kirk Cousins was Kirk Cousining, and yeah, literally multiple pick sixes. Like, I mean, it was just like, who was gonna fail on offense worse? It's just, I hate watching games like this. It's like, James, you talk about you want to see great football. This was just bad, ugly football, man.
Two top 5 picks for this year's draft playing each other. Now whoever wins will get the worst pick because they got the tiebreaker. G-Man, you got anything to talk about on this one?
I already talked about this one.
Okay, yeah, I know. Chicago, Denver, the most boring game of the week.
It was not.
Wasn't it?
It was not, dude. I mean, on paper, before the game, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, field sucks. I hate the Bears. I feel like any game it's just boring. So I just don't like watching their team.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I knew I said I was going to wait until after this week to tell you whether I thought he was a capable quarterback, and I realized that it's Denver that we're talking about. But somebody that's the worst quarterback in the NFL isn't going to throw 4 touchdowns on any defense. I just don't believe he's the worst. I don't believe he's the worst. I'm sorry. He had 4 touchdowns.
I would take 4 touchdowns right now.
Yeah.
I predicted.
Even split him across 2 games.
Yeah. I predicted tie here, so it was a real close game. But I think what they're saying for it was exciting. The Bears, I think, were ahead 28-0, 21-7, 28-7. And then Denver came back and
Russell Magic.
Didn't tie them. They won, so
Russell's playing great. But
stupid game.
This is the thing, dude. Like, Justin Fields had all these yards and all these touchdowns, but he was still getting his ass handed to him. Like, I mean, bad. There was at least four big sacks, like 10-yard sacks. And I'm just like, I mean, I feel bad for the kid. I do. I want him to be better. I want him to be good. I still don't know. I don't know if he can hack it in this league, but I don't think he's the worst. Kirk Cousins.
I mean,
First half was amazing.
Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins should just fucking know better.
right.
Like, I expect more from Kirk Cousins than I do from Justin Fields.
I just feel like Kirk Cousins, every time he throws, he's just like, it's like hard for him to do. I don't know. Like, he's like, oh, it's like he's like gripping the ball like it's like throwing like, it's like the ball's 10 pounds heavier than it is when he's throwing it. Can he throw it there? Yes. Does it get there? I just feel like every time it's like he's throwing it his hardest.
Right.
He stresses out everything.
Yes,
he does.
yeah.
Right. I think honestly the Vikings significantly improve if they get a different quarterback.
Smoke some weed, Kirk. Come on, man.
Right, yeah. Go to the strip club, man. Stop being so weird. So anyways, this game, just another battle of complete incompetence. Justin Fields, it's like I don't know, I sort of agree with you, Dames. Like, I don't think he's definitely very athletic. I don't think he's the least talented quarterback in the NFL, but he makes some really bad decisions. Like taking those huge sacks over and over on third downs, throwing into coverage over and over again, sailing the ball. And it's not helping that whoever's calling the plays in Chicago is like completely fucking it up. Like, going for it on fourth down or not going for it on fourth down early in the game, short yardage situation. They're gashing him with the run, decides to kick the field goal. And then you go to the fourth quarter, and then they go for it on fourth down, skipping a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, when they should have the field goal.
Right, and they went for it and didn't get it. So
And
it's
you're
like
just like
this game, like, and I hate to tell you, Broncos fans, this is the worst thing that could have happened in this game for you. Like, a moral victory, good for you. Go Russ, whatever. Sean Payton maybe avoids getting fired for another week. Like, you just lost the first pick. That's what it is. The Broncos are terrible. They're not going to beat any other teams. Like, this was the Super Bowl of sadness.
let's ride. Let's ride.
Super Bowl of sadness. I love it. That was sad.
It was not good.
Yeah. So, speaking of sad, when the Browns were the Browns, and then they went to Baltimore, then they became the Ravens, and then they play each other, and then the people in Cleveland fucking probably hate the Ravens because they were the Browns, but now they're not the Browns, and they have their own Browns, so they just don't know really who to root for. So actually, they probably won this game because the Ravens, the old Browns beat the new Browns. So if you're stuck with your old team, you're still a Ravens fan. Woo!
Are any of those people alive? Are any of those people alive?
I mean, when that happened in like 1993, that was not.
Oh.
I remember when that happened.
Are any of those people alive? Ooh, we are.
Yeah. Ray Lewis is alive, but somebody else isn't because of him.
Oh,
Wow.
leave Ray alone.
That white suit was found. Anyway,
The white suit.
G-Man Jass is the only one that took dick touch guy. I don't know why that would happen. G-Man, what were you thinking?
I was thinking Myles Garrett was going to have another 3 to 4 sack performance with a couple fumbles forced on Lamar Jackson and, have a defensive led, win it for no other reason than they're at home and their defense is good. So that's what I was thinking. But obviously I was wrong. Amen.
James, your thoughts?
Yeah, clearly you guys didn't watch any of this game because Dick Toucher didn't even play in this game.
I was like, yeah, he was. I was like, wasn't he injured?
It was Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and he had
I'm not picking.
3 interceptions.
I talked about their defense.
You did. And I think he got sacked 4 times for 50 yards.
Hey, he didn't play. That's funny.
Did we know he was out before we picked last week?
No.
We did.
What if
No,
they won with him?
game time decision.
Game time decision. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Maybe he was touching his dick. I don't know.
Touching it too hard.
He had a rash.
But once that happened, those of us that picked Baltimore knew that. I mean,
Yeah.
it was over. So
Even was like trying to get.
I don't give any credence to this game whatsoever because it wasn't played on a fair. Like that's the thing that sucks about the NFL is the injuries. If everybody could play everybody at full tilt, it would be the most fun to watch.
Right.
But
That's what makes it so hard because
I don't know, but I say that, but then I also think about the great stories that come out when guys are injured and somebody gets a chance and they come in and
Right.
they
Would you want to watch robots playing football games? It's almost what it would come down to. If they're never getting hurt, they're basically a robot.
It's true.
Yeah.
Robots playing football, not fun.
Not as fun.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe it could be cool. I mean, we don't even know. Maybe it evolves into robots, and then we evolve with the game, and then that becomes the game that we love. NFHell.
Like, remember, like, what would our
Robots.
world be if Lance Harbor was never injured and then Johnny Moxon didn't come in relief?
Right.
Yeah,
Ian,
even
rabbit hole.
a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, even with Dick Touch Guy, I think Cleveland still would lose this game. I think that Baltimore is pretty good this year. I think they got a pretty good unit. And I think they stumbled against Indianapolis, but like, yeah, I think that they're just a unanimously better team. I mean, Cleveland's got got a pretty good defense, but like, yeah, I mean,
For sure. I just think Baltimore is kind of one of those teams where they're kind of slowly just getting better. They haven't been bad ever. It's just they're figuring it out as they go. And I feel like Harbaugh does his teams do that a lot. Next game, VT, if you're tuning in, G-Man Jass is the only one who took your boys. Wow. I am like, wow. This is what, okay, remember how we talk about every year there's a team that's like, we're bad and they were good. And we're like, okay, dude, Houston, Stroud, this kid, he has what, no interceptions? How many games? It's like, here we go. Here we go. I love what he's doing for the community. He's already inviting players over to his house. He wants to be part of the city. He's a good dude. D'Amico Ryans, like we thought. I think all of us unanimously were like, yep, he's going to come in, change that culture. He was a player. He's going to be a player's coach. So I don't think any surprise. The only surprise I am with is how Pittsburgh, this Tomlin team, they don't look good. They don't look good at all. So it doesn't help if their quarterback goes down. But I don't really think he's not the only problem because we'll see. Mitch Trubisky comes in this week. We'll see. G-Man?
Pittsburgh's still 2-2, so even when they look like shit, they're always 500 or better. So Trubisky might be one of those second, third chance stories where he comes in now and learned a little bit. He's got some pretty good weapons. I don't really want to talk about Pittsburgh too much, but we could see them succeeding with Trubisky. But they have a guy by the name of Watt, Mr. 3 sacks a game guy. Houston, on the other hand, like I said, CJ Stroud is impressing. He's a rookie, impressing everyone. I think I'm not 100% sure, but 300-yard games on top of the no interceptions. And Nico Collins is all of a sudden just a true number one. He's got it. They got it rolling. Houston, as predicted.
James, Gobo, either of you got anything to add to this?
Sorry, Gobo, did you want to? I'll go after you if you want.
yeah, that's fine. I was just gonna say there's not much to say about Pittsburgh. I think that honestly, I think like it's painful to say, but Trubisky might be a better option than Pickett. Just kind of the way that Pickett's been playing, and I think that you really got to find something to spark that Pittsburgh offense. But yeah, honestly, they don't look good. They got a lot of issues. They got a lot of depth issues. A lot of young players. We're kind of seeing maybe the end of the Belichick era. I don't know that this is the end for the Tomlin era. Definitely don't want to guess that, but and then CJ Stroud. I mean, it's early in the season, but yeah, dude looks like offensive rookie of the year. Like not even really debatable if unless he starts to fall off. But that's all I got.
Right, James.
Trubisky actually did play in this game, and it was a little bit better, albeit not much. Tail of the tape here is TJ Watt had two tackles. He was a ghost in this game. Now that's interesting because on the other side of the ball, you have a mobile quarterback, bigger guy. He's getting it done. But I want to pump the brakes there just a little bit because his running back actually had a better passer rating than he did.
1 for 1.
Here's
Houston, God damn it. I hate to admit it, but as much shit as we gave them for being a perennial toilet fire last season, I mean, we didn't know at that point that they were going to have 2 top 3 picks in the draft and that they were going to do what they did with it. That said, I'm not worried about Tomlin's job because as long as he can go to management and explain why, what is lacking, what the problem is, and it's clearly QB1. I mean,
Yeah.
they need other things, but I will say at this point, either Trubisky or Pickett are a problem.
Yeah. Unless Trubisky can do a Geno Smith, and
I kind of feel like they're the same guy, dude.
Honestly, that's not a totally out of left field take.
Yeah, like you want to believe in them, and they've certainly shown you that they can do some things. But
right.
I mean, I would take Daniel Jones over either of those guys every day.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Because Trubisky, you never know who they got coming up. Squeaks off a win or two when Pickett's healthy. They're like, well, we're just going to keep you on the sideline. And then that's the end of his career. All right. Rams at Indy. We split on this one last week. Gobo Dames took Indy. G-Man Jazz and I took the Scrams. Gobo, go with you first on this one.
I mean, yeah, just another game. It's kind of a disappointing because it was the Rams got up big. Indy came back, tied it, sent it to overtime. It sounds like an exciting game, but it kind of wasn't. It was kind of all over the place. Anthony Richardson played all right. Indy's defense definitely looked a lot softer than it had in previous weeks. And I mean, the Rams, they're like one of the most frustrating teams in the league because they're one of those that you don't know which one you're going to get from week to week. They show up and are brilliant sometimes and dominant and, all over the ball, running it, having good play calls. And then you get games like their game against the Bengals. And it's just like, what the hell are you guys doing? So I don't know what the hell to think about the Rams this year.
Right. I would say 2 things I would say about this game. Number one is Anthony Richardson. He played okay, but what if Minshew would have started this game? Would have the Colts kept rolling and won that game? And then the Rams, I'm with you. I think they're one of those teams where Cooper Kupp's not here yet, while they could get really, really good in a few weeks when he comes back. Or it's right now, it's like kind of like, who are they? Who is this team? Where I'm just kind of like, I don't know yet. So I kind of interested to see how they go the next couple of weeks for sure. G-Man.
guys, we don't know a lot of these people yet. They're scoring quite a few points. Sean McVay's offense is awesome. They have Matt Stafford who knows what's going on, and they have Puka Nacua, game-winning touchdown rookie, who's on record paces of all kinds of stats. And it's just like, ho-hum, here he is. He comes in as a rookie, pops out, and he's just putting up the exact same numbers Cup would put up. And then they have another Tutu whatever his last name is. Sorry. And he's out there lighting it up. And then they have Kyron Williams at running back who's scoring a couple touchdowns, it seems like, every game. So the Rams are going to score points. It's just, I don't think their defense can hold up against the elite teams for sure in the NFC.
James.
Tutu Atwell.
Atwell, thank you.
Well, yeah, he's
Good Nakua.
dude had a game.
Here's the thing. This was a dig on Stafford when he was with Detroit. He's inconsistent. That team is going to go as he goes. If he has a bad game, they're going to lose. If he has a good game, they're going to win. There's nothing else about that team other than Aaron Donald, but he can't even do it by himself, you know? So I'm not going to say, unless he has 2 defensive touchdowns by himself in a game, that he's going to be a difference between whether they win or lose. It's going to go as Stafford goes. That said, Puka Nacua caught the winning touchdown in this game, which, I mean, if you're a voter trying to decide between Stroud and Nacua for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I mean, LA is a bigger market. That's all I'm going to say. Stroud was a higher pick and a more notable pick for sure. So we'll see. You guys know I love me some Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
I want him out of there. He needs to go somewhere where he can be used, because they should not be using him. They drafted Richardson. They're not going to win this year. He needs to play this year he's already ready. He was the quarterback that everybody was like, he's the most ready to play, even though he only played 13 games in college. That's the season he needs to be on the field. So, yeah, they might have done better with Gardner Minshew, but who gives a fuck? I mean, they're just going to get a worse draft pick.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is coming back.
At this point, if they know that Richardson's going to be okay and they have a third option, they should get something for Minshew while they can.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm down with you on that. All right, moving to Nolans, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we all took. We all got this one correct. So good on us on that one. I think we all kind of weren't sure if Derek Carr was going to play, if he did play, and then I think we also all decided, like, who cares if he plays? It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So, yeah, we all took Tampa Bay. G-Man Jass, we'll start with you on this one.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, really pretty shitty, boring game. NFHell. The Bucks are going to be in the running to win this division, and Baker Mayfield just gets to kind of play after Tom Brady. Not a huge, scary market out there. Like, it's kind of under the radar, so it's probably good for him. And a good defense. So, Bucks win. Saints suck.
James.
Baker Mayfield is playing better than Tom Brady played last year. Period.
Ooh.
Right now he is. I mean,
statistically, I think you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I looked at it. I wouldn't have said it if I was wrong. Through this time last year, just way better. It's not even close, really. But here's the thing:
I wouldn't have said it if I'm wrong.
I don't care about the Bucks. I don't care about the Bucks at all.
I know.
I don't
We
think
all heard
it's a threat to anybody. It is still Baker Mayfield. He may look like Tom Brady reincarnate, but he ain't. And speaking of ain't, who's the coach of the Saints?
John Payton.
Guy's problem. All right. You've got Derek Carr. You went and did that because you thought it was going to make you better, which maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. But there's an X factor that Taysom Hill, you guys. And I don't think he should be the starting quarterback. But he had one play, one completion, 13 yards. All right? The average Derek Carr play was 3.4 yards. Why is this guy not getting more snaps in the offense?
Yeah. I'm down with you on that.
That's all I mean. I'm not saying start him. I'm just saying
Well,
tell for him.
especially when Carr was gimpy anyway, right? Like a shoulder, you might as well use him
I
a little
mean,
extra that week.
the guy has got a unique set of, I don't want to call him Christian McCaffrey, but he has that type of skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Only at a quarterback instead of running back position.
Yeah, he can play quarterback too.
So I would come up with some packages for him and see what happens.
Now you have Kamara back too. They could have some deadly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe so. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll start working that in. Gobo, do you want to add anything to this?
Yeah. I think the Saints are going to start improving with Kamara back. I think even though I don't really think Derek Carr is a good quarterback, I think he's definitely better than Jameis Winston. So I think that they did sort of get better, but I think that New Orleans' defense is pretty beefy. They've actually played pretty well at the beginning of the season. But yeah, honestly, Tampa just was the better team out there. They've kind of played a couple of these games really hard where they looked really good, and yeah, we're living in a world where we're gonna watch Baker Mayfield host a playoff game in 2023.
Right. And it's like battle of the two quarter. You're like, who tuned in?
20s.
Yeah, the 20s, man. The 20s. All right, moving off to the NFC East. Washington goes into Philly. We're going to start Dames with you on this one. Your crush on Washington's dumbest team name in all of sports, Commanders. I know you were high on them for a little bit. This was maybe just one game. We get it. What are your thoughts?
No, I still like them. I still like the team a lot. And this is why. I don't expect them to come out and win this game. I didn't pick them to win this game, but I expected them to ball. And they went into Philly and almost took this game. It was a coin flip, scenario. Actually, I think they won the coin toss. But
yeah, either way, they went to over. I mean,
they took them to beyond 60 minutes, and they played with them every step of the way. Hurts, God, it's hard for me to tell if I like what he's doing or not.
I'm down with you on that.
He had really good numbers, but he had a weird way of making those numbers not look great. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. He's like one of those quarterbacks.
Right.
I definitely think they're a beatable team. I mean, the fact that they're undefeated, you can only play who's in front of you. I understand that. But to me, they've still yet to put together a complete game. And I don't know if they're capable of that. So I think that there's definitely a chink in their armor for them.
G-Man.
I would love to talk about my division, my brother. Number one, Riverboat Ron. You are the biggest pussy I've ever seen in my life. You go into Philly. Your fucking quarterback drives your team down the field and scores with no time left. And you have a chance to just go for two, win the fucking game, and go home. Peace
out.
All day
long. All day
on the road. You're Riverboat Ron. No, you're not. I don't even know what that means, dude. You're
not Riverboat Ron anymore.
You're already putting it to a coin toss, so that's 50-50 at best, and you're already 2-3 yards away, one play. What are you doing, dude? And your team just dominated and marched all the way down, and Howell was on fire, like for real. Like they were gonna convert that. So Eagles lucked out, but to Dames, and one more point to Dames with how Hurts looks. He's kind of like one of those guys where you watch the game and you're like, oh, whatever, and then you look at their stats and you're like, holy shit! But it's like all the time. So when he's on fire, those numbers are even escalated. But when he just has a game like that, and you're just like, and you look at it and you're like, he does that all the time, and it's kind of one of those just hidden things where everything just kind of looks easy. So you maybe think I don't know, it's weird. But Philly's rolling. We'll see how that keeps going with them and the Niners and
I mean, the
top two teams.
last player that I can think of that you'd look at the box score and you'd be like, holy shit, Michael Jordan. Like, you think he scored like 20 or whatever. You look at about 38, 10 steals, 6 block. Like, dude was a machine. Gobo, you want to add anything to this
Um,
NFC East matchup?
I mean, yeah, there's not really much else to say about this game. It's hard to win division games. They're hard to pick from like a picking standpoint. Um, Philly's the better team. Washington's pretty scrappy. They got a couple of really talented guys. I'll sing Terry McLaurin's praises all season. I think that he's an elite receiver on kind of a subpar team. Um, Philly's they're still good. Jalen, he makes he wasn't perfect in this game. Washington looked like they were kind of controlling things, and they still managed to just muscle their way into a win. So I mean, great teams are going to face adversity. So yeah, I'm still pretty hyped on Philly.
All right, all right. Let us know below what you guys are thinking, who you're taking, who you took last week, and why. We love to hear your guys' comments. Cincinnati goes to Tennessee. Three of us besides Dames all pick Cincy, thinking they're going to rebound. I'm going to start again. I started the show off kind of saying how Zach Taylor, bye-bye. He's kind of getting on the hot seat. And then Derrick Henry, I'm like, oh, he's gassed. Oh, what does he do? He scored. He has a bunch of. He's a beast this game. Burrow looked like a pile of shit still. And then we have some drama now with Chase coming out saying he's open every fucking time or whatever he said. Where I'm like, here we go, Cincy. I'm like, what is this? Ocho Cinco and Carson Palmer reincarnate? I mean, I'm just like, bye bye Zach Taylor, because you're not. Once that ball's rolling, you're done. So big surprise to me, Tennessee with the win. I just thought Cincinnati would kind of get the ball rolling. Dames, I see you smiling. Yes. Would you like to?
I don't know what Jamar Chase's fucking problem is. He was targeted 11 times, caught 7 of them. Maybe he's mad that it was only for 73 yards. I don't know.
He's open every time, Dames.
Every time.
Yeah, well, that's not
true.
Sustainable, and it's not true.
Yeah, that's not true. First off, that's not true.
Tannehill played like Burrow of old, and Burrow played like Tannehill. That's the story of this game. I don't know why Joe Burrow decided to have 3 rushing attempts with his calf the way it is for 1 yard. Just throw the ball away, or throw it to Chase. Give him 3 more targets.
Give him a couple more targets.
Shut the fuck up, But this Bengals team needs to be worried. I mean, this is bad, you guys. This is 2 games where they've failed to score a touchdown. And we're talking about a team that has played for rights to go to the Super Bowl in the last 2-3 years. So, gotta be better than that.
Come join us in NFHell, Cincinnati. Gobo.
Yeah, big time. I mean, it's really reminiscent of like mid to late 80s when the 49ers beat the Bengals a couple of times in the Super Bowl, and then afterwards like Cincinnati just started unraveling. Boomer Esiason like totally went way downhill, and it's just like it's fucking happening again to the folks in Cincinnati. You watched an all-star quarterback just completely melt down because of an untreated injury. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I did not predict this happening to the Bengals this year, especially after Burrow got hella paid. But yeah, the Titans took care of business. I mean, they got a wounded dog in the backyard and they went out there and beat it to death. Like that's all that they needed to do is just go play competent football. Derrick Henry, even a gassed Derrick Henry is still pretty hard to tackle. So yeah. I got a good friend who's a Titans fan. She probably hates me for picking Cincy in that game, but yeah, I promise it won't happen again.
All right, G-Man.
Yeah, just when you think Cincinnati get squeaked out a win the week before, and you think they're getting, I think they did, correct? Yeah. Beat
Yeah, they beat the Rams last
the
week.
Rams. Yeah, yeah. I think they're getting it going in 3 points. And, Jamar Chase is right. If you throw it to the right spot, he's probably always open because he can kind of outjump everyone and he has that ability. But um,
But come on.
not much more you guys can say. But like Joe Burrow gets paid, he's just bad. Like it doesn't even seem comprehensible. Like this guy was so just awesome all time. Like we can be, what's happening? What is happening?
I wish I knew a Bengals fan to come on the show.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah. Any Bengals fans out there, comment below. Tell us what's going on with Joe Cool. What's going on with Joe Cool?
What's going on?
All right, Dames, we're gonna move to the LA Chargers Vegas game. We'll start with you picking Vegas.
I'm ashamed of myself on this one.
You're
I
the
didn't
lone.
do my research. I didn't know that Aiden O'Connell was going to be played. No idea.
Garoppolo got benched, right?
He didn't play at all in this game.
Right. No, I think that they decided to switch.
Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't know
Wait,
that.
they did? I don't think I
Yeah,
knew.
I don't think Garoppolo is hurt. I think he got benched.
Are you serious? That already is happening?
I mean,
But
Josh McDaniels, Dames. I mean, that was your guy. You said bye-bye. So, is that
that
surprising?
said, Khalil Mack had a field day. Sacked one off the record. For those of you that don't know, the record was Derek Thomas. 7 sacks on Seattle's Dave Craig. Dave Craig ended up throwing the game-winning touchdown. So fuck you, Derek Thomas.
Oh,
I watched that game live as a child.
So did I. Anyway, 6 sacks against his former team, but it's Aiden O'Connell. So this guy.
The Chargers should win this game.
Yeah.
Well,
I was also mistaken. Jimmy G is in concussion protocol, so he is injured.
okay.
okay.
Well, he's injured. We better send him out. Ain't rushing him back.
I mean, honestly,
promise
like
you. Go ahead.
the Raiders O line, like that. I mean that was like the Chargers, like Khalil Mack is gas. Like watch the Chargers defense against any other team, and they're getting dotted up and down the field. Like the fact that you gave up 6 sacks to this guy who's like 59 years old, like come on, bro. Like that is bad football, man. Like the Raiders, I can't believe they beat Denver. They're so bad.
I mean, I feel like everyone saw. I mean, I know that us here at NFL, probably you guys, when they hired Josh McDaniels, I was just like, well, they are going to suck for the next few years. Remember when Denver hired him, and then literally like what 8 weeks in, he gets caught like fucking Spygate 2.0 or whatever in Denver, and people, he didn't do it. But the thing is he did it, and they still lost.
I was like, yeah, and
How
they
bad
still
he
went
is.
4-12 that year.
How bad he is. He's cheating and going 4-12. And the
Yeah.
Raiders think, yeah, this is a good idea. He was really good with that Tom Brady guy, and he sucked every other time. But he's
Guys, Devil's advocate here, guys. They only lost by 1 touchdown. Andy O'Connell, or yeah, what's
Aiden.
Mr. Aiden O'Connell, Mr. O'Connell. He looked better as the game went on. I watched some of this game, and I was like, the Raiders didn't give up. They play hard. I think that's how they beat a team like Denver, but Chargers just have, their O-line sucks, just like a number of teams in the NFL that need to get it together. So, Raiders, please.
Raiders.
Max Crosby, and that's about it.
Yeah. And then he gets mad.
And Devontae. I'm wearing as I wear my Devontae.
Devontae, yeah.
Yeah, Devontae's a baller. I mean, it just.
I know you could see the frustration with Devontae this weekend because he's just like I saw him getting pretty pissed that the throws weren't going where they needed to be. The play calling was bad. Like he you know what, man? You went to a different team to get your money and you're paying the price.
Yeah. Could be catching balls from Jordan Love this year.
Well, I think that especially the last couple of seasons, like when Rodgers was in his MVP years, Packers maybe win the Super Bowl that year with Devontae. We were close. We won the NFC Championship without him.
Oh yeah, and he's the
Right. The connection they had together.
I'll dial that one up. All right, we're going to move on to Dallas. The Patriots of New England going down, down, down to Dallas. I watched this with our NFL, one of our biggest fans, Jason. He wanted me to mention, guys, the week before when Dallas got beat, 3 other O linemen were out. So we didn't
No
mention
excuses. No
And that's-
fucking
I
excuses.
was like, here's the deal, Jason. We don't care who's injured. Does anybody care that Zach Wilson's my starting quarterback? Does anybody care that Aaron Rodgers went out after 4 plays? No, they don't. They don't give a shit because we just move on to the next week. That's what happens, man. That's what happens.
Yeah, we're always injured.
Yeah.
We're always injured. Shut up, Jason.
Yeah, Dak, please.
My offensive line was, dude, all 5 guys on Seattle's offensive line in last night's game were either replacements, and that was 4 of them, or playing in a position that was not theirs. Our center was playing guard, and 4 other guys that were not our starters.
Now you were just like, we're the same. We're the same.
But the thing is the Seahawks were playing the Giants, though, so let's be real. All right. Anyway, Gobo.
I was already mine.
We're talking about
Dallas.
Dallas
Yeah,
still.
New England Belichick on the hot seat.
Yeah. So there's a term I heard, I don't know if anybody's seen the new Ninja Turtles movie. I'm obviously like a huge fan. There was a term I heard in that movie that I want to use in describing this game. At one point, the Superfly character said he mollywalloped somebody. So, yeah, the Patriots got mollywalloped on Sunday. Like, they just they looked bad. The 2 defensive touchdowns, like
Mac Jones got benched.
Mac was on his back. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, honestly, like Belichick. A lot of people are saying, does this tarnish his legacy? Is it just Tom Brady that made him good? I don't agree with that at all, but I think that there's not a lot of bright spots to look at when you look at that New England team.
Right. I also never understand, like, why can't we just say they were really good together? That's it. They were really good together the whole time they were together. They're both good at what they do, and they were really good together. When they went apart, Brady won with another really good coach.
Right.
Wasn't like, and a good team, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take away from Brady's greatness. Like, he's obviously still arguably the best quarterback in NFL history, but that doesn't mean that Bill Belichick didn't do his part in those Super Bowls.
Right. Some of those defensive schemes. All right, let's move on because we're tired. We don't even really, Dallas, Dames. You good?
You aren't gonna let me talk about Mac Jones?
You're not gonna let me talk about Mac Jones?
You gotta,
My bad.
Real, bro.
I got a lot to say about this.
Is he talking smack?
Yeah. My own division team.
James Mars, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Job's on the line, and I can't respond. All right. Something became abundantly clear to me this week. Mac Jones can't make all the throws required of an NFL quarterback. He can't do it. I saw the one game a couple weeks ago where he just threw up that ball down and just let him do a jump ball. That's lack of arm talent. It is. I chalked it up to just him, knowing it's like a punt if he gets it. But this game showed me, and I watched, I told you I watched these guys in depth because Belichick, he fascinates me. So maybe Mac Jones is a problem. I'll say it when I see it. He definitely was in this game. The defense, 2 of their best players are injured now. And that's a huge problem when you don't have an offense. And the little offense that you do have is going against a great defense. And then you don't even have a subpar defense to handle a subpar offense. So that said, looking at Prescott's numbers when I did, they aren't great. He was efficient, but he didn't slice and dice them up, Didn't throw for a lot of touchdowns. Maybe he didn't need to, but here's the thing that I would have thought. You go out and pick up Zeke Elliott. If you're the Patriots, he's gonna want some kind of like revenge. How many carries they give him? 6. 6. Now
I think he had like 3 on the first drive.
This is the part that bothers me. Ramondre Stevenson got 14 carries, and his average yards per carry were worse than Zeke's. What are you doing?
Right. What are you doing?
That's my takeaway. Why did you do that?
G-Man?
Good news is I don't like Zeke, so boo-hoo. But yeah, Dallas's defense was just overwhelming. I think that they score another touchdown or two. Two, yeah. Another
Well,
two touchdowns.
fantasy, so yeah.
Another 2 touchdowns for their defense. Their defense scores more than my offense, so NFL is fucking burning bright. And yeah, Bill Belichick's worst loss of his career, I think I said earlier, and they're in a hard spot here because now if Mac Jones just the next time he looks bad, they're gonna be calling for Zappy now, and he's not any better. I mean, I haven't seen enough of him to say he's worse or better, but he can't be better if he's on the bench. So, or that much better. Cowboys, San Francisco matchup coming up. That'll be a good one next week.
Well, that's the game of the week for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of San Fran, 4 touchdowns. McCaffrey. Arizona comes into town after a big win. They've been playing well, and then they play San Francisco. 4 touchdowns, 1 guy in 1 game. I'm just like, good God, like unstoppable. So I think the 49ers just keep putting the pedal down. Every week they're just taking care of business. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who scores the touchdowns, how many passes Purdy throws. Their defense plays well. He plays well. They win. So, too easy. G-Man?
Guys, here's a question for you. San Francisco, 2 guys have scored 5 touchdowns in 1 game. Obviously, Jerry Rice. The other, Ricky Waters. 49ers have the ball on the inch line, and McCaffrey could get a 5th touchdown with ease. Are you for a team handing him that because it's still in the game? It's not like it's out of the game in the 4th. Like, I didn't understand, like, why aren't you guys giving him the ball? This doesn't happen. These guys don't get this opportunity, a couple times maybe in their lifetime,
I'm
What
down.
do you think?
Give him the ball. Give him the ball. It's like I'm the same thing with like Miami last week. They're like they could go. It's like that record is meant to be broken, and then like you are the team that can break it. Like, why would you feel bad? You're getting paid to play football at the highest level and kick someone's ass. You keep doing it till it's 0 on the clock. I mean, what is this? We're gonna be nice now? I don't understand. Like, oh, I get it. Like the last couple plays you're kneeling because it's over. But like, if you have a chance at history making, my opinion, Gobo, Dames, I see you guys both. Yeah, agree.
I mean,
give him the ball. Give him the
And
ball.
that's 14 straight for the Niners over the Cardinals.
Yeah. I also had Christian McCaffrey in fantasy on the same team with my Cowboys defense. So yeah, it was a big week for sure.
Easy win.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, I tried the tricklet I did last year where I picked against the Jets and then they won. I picked them to lose to the Bills and then they beat the Bills. Well, this week I thought possibly it was going to happen again. Jets at home against the Chiefs. I thought Mahomes I thought he didn't feel good. They kept showing him, I was actually like, is he okay? Like, he just didn't like, I don't know, maybe it was he was tired, maybe he was studying film because the Jets Dames, thanks for pointing out how amazing they are. Basically, shut him down. He had his worst career game. First time a quarterback has ever outplayed him. You know how they, you know what I'm saying? In his career, in his entire life, college, pros, high school, ever. Like, so that shows how good Mahomes is. I guess, like I said, this game I kind of talked about earlier. Zach Wilson, knock on wood. I just want to let's keep going, keep that ball rolling. Zach, get some confidence. I feel like it's all about him letting loose. The one thing I would like to see more of is Breece Hall. Get him the ball more. Get it. Set up some screens. Drop it down to him. It's like, good God, man! Every time that guy touches the ball, he's electric. So I can't wait till this week's game. We'll get to that later. Again, we all took the Chiefs. We kind of knew they would do it. We were all, I'm assuming we're surprised. A lot of people in the country were, I don't know if you also know, it was the second highest rated most people watching since the Super Bowl. Well, you had Taylor Swift, you had the Chiefs.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
T Swift game. The T Swift game.
Wow.
So thanks to her, the country got to see Zach Wilson's best career game. Dames, want to add to my Chiefs Jets analysts?
Okay.
What'd you say?
So the defense is okay. What do I want to say? The only thing I really want to say is, I love Patrick Mahomes, dude. That play at the end of the game,
Right.
he didn't rub it in your faces. He rubbed it against his faces.
Yep.
It hurt somebody's feelings either way. Might as well be the fucking degenerate gamblers of across the country than the poor Jets fans.
Stay tuned for Ricky's picks.
So, no, I thought it was awesome. It was total class. When he gets up, he's like, "Hey, I didn't fuck you guys." That was awesome.
I mean,
Awesome.
Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. So, Gobo.
I do. I'm also a big Patrick Mahomes fan. I do kind of hate that the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift storyline. I love that it's bringing more attention to the game, but like I kind of also don't love that. I don't know. It's
Right.
It's stupid. I mean, but honestly, the Jets showed a lot of guts in this game. I think they've hit a lot of adversity really early in the season. I think that, Jets fans, their front office, the players, they were all kind of Super Bowl or bust this year. And then like losing Aaron and having to kind of, shift gears. I think it's going to take some adjustment. But it just kind of goes to show you really, Mahomes definitely did not look like Mahomes, from a consistency standpoint. He still made a couple of big plays, but yeah, I think that Chiefs, man, they're such a good team. Like they have so many weapons and a good defense, solid defense. I mean, honestly, like we thought this was going to be a good game at the beginning of the season, looking at it on the schedule, and it ended up being a good game. So I don't hate it.
Yep. G-Man.
The officials kind of fucked us from out of seeing if Zach Wilson could actually lead a team down a field, have a game-winning drive, prime time, he's having the game of his life. And they fucked him. So they can't get fined by the officials, so you guys suck. Quit calling stupid penalties. Let the game play out.
Right. Especially after it's intercepted and then he caught it. I better throw this. Whatever. We all know. We all watched it. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Make more plays in the game so there's nothing at the end to do. All right.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it. Speaking of nothing you can do about it, we're going to go to the last Monday night football game of the week, which was just played last night by two of our NFHellians. Head-to-head. James Mars, G-Man, Jess. Gobo, we'll start with you. I'll go, and then we'll kind of do like we did earlier. We'll get.
I was going to say, can I go first? Because I definitely have the least amount to say about this game.
Okay. Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to be honest here. I underestimated the Seahawks. When I saw them kind of faltering at the beginning of the season, taking that loss to the Rams, the team didn't look very functional, but these last couple of weeks, they played Detroit real hard and they looked clean in this game. They really kind of pushed the ball around. Their defense was really stout. Yeah, I picked the Giants. I thought they would have an advantage at home on that huge road trip. But yeah, I mean, Seattle got it done. So, yeah, are they gonna like make any waves in that division against San Francisco? I don't think so, but um, yeah, no, Seattle's better than I thought they were.
Right, yeah, I'm going to say a couple things about the Giants. I mean, first of all, and the Seahawks. The Giants, first off, I hate when coaches and quarterbacks are arguing on the sideline, iPads get thrown, people are yelling. I'm just like, to me, that's embarrassing. Even though you're getting your ass kicked, we all know what's going on. You don't need to be arguing about it, in my opinion. I get it. It's heated. You're pissed off as the coach and as the player. Obviously, you wouldn't be making that mistake to piss off your. I mean, to me, I look at it that way. The Seahawks, that the biggest thing that surprised me for sure, because it's probably the first Seahawks game that I've really watched. The whole thing. What's his name? 21, the rookie, the stud who had pick six, whatever his stud. Like that guy, I was like, he is him. He is going to be lights out of. I mean, he already is. And then you have one on the other side. That defense, you're like super young on your team. Seahawks are one of those teams that it's like Pete Carroll. I feel like Pete Carroll does this a lot. It's like a young team that's kind of on the rise. They're gonna blossom, and then wow, holy shit, it happened maybe a little bit earlier than we thought, and some of these players are popping off. So Giants just have a lot to do internally. The line is too hurt, and now the Seahawks line is also hurt, so that is gonna hurt. Anyway, we'll move on to you two. I guess who was the home team? The Giants. So I guess we'll take the road team gets to first crack at it. Dames Marvs, let's tell everyone your take. And you were the only one who picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. The Seahawks are a small market team in South Alaska, and they are not covered in any of the media that you guys watch. The only opportunity you have to hear about them is through this show, and you don't pay attention to me. All right? I told you my truth about Witherspoon has been there all along, every week. I said, did we pick this kid over Jalen Carter? He already has more sacks than Jalen Carter in 3 games. Okay? He's got touchdowns. He is electric, dude. Actually, on the interception, my favorite part of that play was Julian Love from the opposite side of the field. I mean, they clocked him at like 22 miles an hour, getting up there to make the block so that he can make it the rest of the way. That was awesome. Great cutback to turn Daniel Jones around. Yeah. And again, this speaks to the more media thing. I heard 15 times that the Giants line was trashed. 2 times did they say anything about Seattle's line, which was made up of 4 non-starters and a center that was playing guard. 1 time that was mentioned. Another time they mentioned that there were players out. Troy Aikman, they Joe Buck, they study this shit. They have meetings about this shit, and they didn't know it. They didn't know it because it's not part of something that they care about. At the end of the game, they were frustrated because they had to be there.
The Mannings had a pretty good time, though. Eli was just like, oh my God, that was like,
Mannings are fun.
oh my God.
So I got to mention 11 sacks. I just have to mention that. That was, I don't recall ever seeing that before. Jesus, do you guys hear that? My whole house just rumbled. Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, Geno Smith was not great. But here's what I want to say to the Giants fans. All right. Your line is fucked. Our line was fucked. You guys got some dogs on your defensive line. So we can't use that as an excuse. We just can't. That's why I don't accept it from your Cowboys fan either. That's trash. Shut your mouth. Next man up. They're NFL players. They're there. Two, of the 4 games that you guys have played pretty terribly, this is the best defensive effort you guys have had. Because 7 of the points were interception. 7 of the points were from 5 yards away. And you only gave up 24, which is the smallest amount you've given up all year. So get the offense going right, at least in some manner. And I think you guys are 3-12 with Saquon Barkley out. I don't know what the record is with him in, but it's considerably better. And there's no way that Daniel Jones is going to be able to get the things done that he needs to get done with a rushing average of 1.9 yards a carry. Not going to do it. Saquon's never been below that, not even for a single game.
Right.
So there are factors that were here. And you guys remember, I wanted to play this team at full tilt. We didn't get that. But we weren't full tilt either. And I'm not using, this guy, Witherspoon, was playing a first-time position in the slot. That was his first time in the slot. And he was covering for a guy that's out with concussion.
Might want to keep him there.
Yeah. But I'm excited about him. I legitimately, him and Reek Woolen across from each other. If Adams gets healthy, he got Quandre Diggs in the back. Julian Love has found a new way to cover people all of a sudden. It's good times in the Seattle backfield. And those guys up front were eating too. Big Jaron Reed, our linebackers I couldn't be more proud of, Uchenna Nwosu. It seems like there was food at the table for everybody to come back and get seconds. So that said, I wish it was a better game for you, but I had a lot of fun with it.
I mean, the Giants did outpossess the Seahawks in this game time of possession. They had more first downs. They had more time of possession. I think maybe they even had more because, like you were saying, the defense is all those. You take those out. It's probably a pretty close game. G-Man, you ready to add in?
Hold on, before we go there, they didn't have more yards. They did have a 9-play drive that went for -2 yards and took 4 minutes. So
there you have it.
Careful when you talk about, time of possession, because
usually that's
I've never seen anything like that.
That's a win.
Play drive, 4.5 minutes, -2 yards. How the fuck does that happen? I don't know. Let's go ahead.
Penalties? Like I said, in the truth, man, 3 big plays, change a game. 2 of them are DJ's fault. 11 sacks. Obviously, the O-line is sad, and sometimes when you're not as deep as other teams and you're missing Saquon Barkley and Andrew Thomas, and then you're missing a Bredesen, and then 2 guys get hurt on the 4th and 1, first drive of the game, and then you're mixing guards and other positions. They are pros, but they don't, offensive line is one of those positions where you just start moving people all over the place. It's going to be pretty hard to block anybody. And that was obvious. And hopefully we can just kind of run the ball against Miami and get Saquon back, because we need Saquon and we need Andrew Thomas, because very concerning depth, obviously. Barf. Monday Night Football.
All righty. Let's move on. Week 5. It's an all-new week. No teams are out of it yet. We're in NFHell, but we're not in NFHell quite yet. And we still have some hope of climbing and clawing our ways back out. We start off with week 5 in our picks. Thursday night, foosball. The dumbest team name in sports hosts the Chicago Bears. The Commanders. I'm going to start this one off. I'm taking Washington at home, 16-3. I think their defense shuts down the Bears' pathetic offense. I think they control the clock. I like Dames. I think they played well enough against Dallas to win that game. They just didn't win, but I think they take care of business against the Bears at home. So Washington 16, Bears 3. Gobo.
Yeah, the Bears are the worst team in the league. Certainly they are right now. Washington, I liked what they did against Philly. Like I said, I mean it was a hard fought game. They got a couple of playmakers. Bears have terrible coaching, terrible schemes, a terrible defense. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say Washington 28, Bears 17. And yeah, Fields at least 2 turnovers.
G-Man.
As I agree with you on Washington, I'm not gonna say that they're dominant enough to gonna surprise me if the Bears actually were to win this game, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be that bold to predict that. Washington's inconsistent. I mean, and they just came off a huge emotional game. They lost to the Eagles, so sometimes, they can have that down game the next week, but the Bears just suck enough where I'm not going to pick them. Washington 24, Bears 22, maybe Flus. You know, hot seat could really be turned up after this week.
James. Who you got?
I want to pick Chicago, but I don't know if they're in tank on purpose mode yet. I'll have to watch and see how they play. Certainly didn't look like they were trying to tank the game on Sunday until the second half.
Until they did.
Until they did.
Yeah.
But this is a perfect trap game for Washington too. But I'm going to go Washington 26-21.
26-21. Let us know at home who you are taking this week. Again, we just started off Thursday night. We're going to move to Buffalo, where the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dames, will start with you. Go to Buffalo to play the Bills. Jacksonville coming off they're struggling a little bit. What do you think for this game?
In London,
Tis.
I'm going to go Buffalo 33-24, just because they're a better team right now.
Gobes.
Apologies to Josh Allen for saying you were slipping.
All right. So, Jaguars. London is it creates chaos. And the Jaguars have stumbled a couple of times. They looked good against Atlanta. They're kind of in their element at Wembley. I'm taking the Jags in this one. I think the Bills are definitely the better team, but I think that having to go across the pond, I think is going to give the Jags enough of an edge. And big blood sausage Lawrence is gonna put a couple of nice ones up there. I'm gonna say in a close one, Jaguars 31-28 over the boys from Buffalo.
Demon.
Well, the good news for Buffalo is they are in that Northeast, so the distance isn't as much as it would be for other teams. And they do have the better roster, and they do have the better quarterback, especially playing right now at this point in the season in their careers. Could Trevor Lawrence eventually get there? Of course, but right now, Allen's throwing dimes, and Buffalo 38, Jacksonville 20.
All right. We go to Hot Atlanta, where Houston comes off some hot games. Everybody's got CJ Stroud in their mouth.
Did you make a pick?
Did I make a pick? Yes.
Oh.
Maybe I didn't out loud. My
was
bad.
like, did you want to share it with us?
Yeah, that's fine. No, I have the Bills winning big 31-10. I just don't think this Jacksonville team, I just don't think they're kind of what they want to be right now. I feel like they're a little out of it. So I just feel like I don't know. There's just something about them where they're just off. And I feel like Buffalo is actually the opposite. They're kind of in stride. They just took down Miami, big division game. And now they get to go to London and say, you know what, let's go over there and kick some ass. So I'm taking Buffalo 31-10. All right, now we go down to Hot Atlanta. Dames, we'll start with you on this one. Houston, VT, chime in, let us know. He's probably taking Houston. Who you taking down in the hot?
Who do you think I'm taking?
Who do I think you're taking? Houston.
Nope.
Okay, Atlanta.
Atlanta, 21-17. I realize that there's a hype train right now, but he's a rookie. Have you guys seen Atlanta's been playing really good at home, putting up points, playing good D, running the ball. So that's why I picked Atlanta.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna take Houston on the road. I think this team is fired up. They're kind of learning how to win with a young quarterback. They're kind of putting it together again. I like Ryans as a coach, and I think that he is the difference. I still feel like we don't really know who Atlanta is. One week they're one week they're next week they're So I am gonna take Houston on the road 21-18. Gobo.
This is a tough pick, honestly, because CJ Stroud has looked really good. He's got that kind of like rookie flair to him, which is a hard thing to kind of gauge because you never know when it's going to start going out or if it's going to continue. And Atlanta coming off a tough loss in London to the Jags. I don't think that's a huge representation of how their team was. I think that the play calling could have been a lot better. I think that they're going to make some adjustments. And I think I'm going to be like, this is the third week in a row I'm picking against Houston. And if I get it wrong again, I might just pick them to win it out the rest of the season. So I'm going to take Atlanta at home, another close one, 28-25 over the Texans.
G-Man Jazz.
Yeah, guys, I'm kind of on the same page as you. The rookie luck has to run out at some point. We're getting more and more tape on the guy on the road. Atlanta could control the game. And I'll take Atlanta at home 26-17. Bijan Robinson gonna light it up.
Bijan's a beast.
And the beast. All right. Going down to Detroit or over to Detroit. Carolina's coming to town. Gobo division team for you. Who you got in this one?
I would love to make an emotional pick here because I have a lot of friends in Carolina and I kind of like the Panthers as a franchise, but they're gonna get smoked in this game. I think Bryce Young is gonna get introduced to a young man named Aiden Hutchinson very early in the game. He might leave with another concussion. Honestly, Detroit, they're gonna tear apart that. Minnesota was able to move the ball on the road against Carolina. Detroit's not gonna have any problems. They got David Montgomery, like I said, Amon-Ra. They're gonna it's gonna be bad. I'm taking Detroit at home, 35-7.
G-Man Jazz.
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised if anyone picks against Detroit. Jared Goff is 10 times as good at home as he is on the road. And, Montgomery coming off like a 32 carry, 3 touchdown performance. They're just going to keep rolling, running the rock, smashing the run, crushing the little guy. It's going to be a long day. 30-13 Detroit at home. And they're going to be getting talked about with that second tier below, filling the 49ers in the NFC.
Yes, sir. Dames, Marvs.
Bryce Young, watch your ACL. That's all I got to say. Detroit, 40-14.
40-14. I'm taking Detroit, like I said, 35-9. Get your picks in down below. We love hearing from you. Let us know who you're taking in that Detroit game. We're going to move over to Indy. Tennessee goes to Indianapolis. G-Man Jazz, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I like the Colts, guys. Tennessee is always they're inconsistent. They piss me off. I pick against them, pick them. Whichever way I go, seems to go the opposite. I am going to go for the home team. Let's say Richardson. maybe carries them on his back and kind of shows everyone, all right, don't forget about the Colts. Season's still early and I'm still growing every game, but check me out. Colts at home, 26-19. Stop King Henry.
James.
Well, let's see what I got here. I got. Can I flip a coin?
Yeah, flip it.
I was gonna say, dude, this one
Somebody have
this
one?
could go either way.
Gobo has. Oh, G-Man Jazz has a coin. All right, how about let's do one for each of you? Why not? 2 flips in one game.
Oh no, I have a team.
Oh, you do. My bad. All right, flip for
Love
James.
for me to call you guys. I mean, I love the coach. Tannehill's coming off an actually decent game. Richardson's a rookie, playing well, but on a team that should not be winning. So
Yeah. I can flip a coin for you, Dame, as I still have
Jess
more.
has it. Jess has it.
Oh, Jess got it. All right, cool.
You're muted though.
You're muted, G-Man.
Is Tennessee at home?
At Indy. Indy's home.
Which is which?
Home is heads.
Home is
Yeah,
head.
he is heads.
Got a roller.
Welcome to NFL, where we can't even fucking flip a coin.
Tails.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Shield.
Taking Tennessee. What's the score, bud?
8-9.
Fuck it. Why not?
I like it.
I am gonna go next. I'm actually gonna take. I think Tennessee's gonna come in. I hate picking Tennessee. Last year, I feel like every time I picked them, I was like, "Oh yeah, their defense is playing well. Tannehill's got everything going." Blah blah blah. And this is a repeat of last year. But I just don't think Indy. I think, like Dame said, it's just weird that they've got a few wins here. I don't think they're quite where they want to be, and I think actually Tennessee maybe is kind of believing a little bit more. Coming off a win, they have a pretty good D. I'm going to say they win a close one, 24-21. Gobo.
I kind of like, tale of two Tannehills this season is he shows up looking fairly competent one week, and then the next week he's like complete garbage. So I think I think he's gonna flip flop. I think he's gonna have an off week, and I think the Colts are gonna get it done at home. Also a really close game. I think it's impossible to predict. I'm like 0% confident in this pick. So yeah, I'm gonna say Colts win it at home, 23-17 in overtime.
Ooh, the OT.
Maybe on a Tannehill pick six.
I want my 8-9 to be in overtime too.
Impossible.
Because we're playing Canadian football now.
Impossible.
People at home are like, wait, can they do? No, you can't. G-Man Joss, going to you. Giants going down, going to Miami. Go ahead and get us started on your game, your thoughts, your pick.
94, guys.
Is that how many points the Dolphins are going to score?
Can you guess what that number is? No, I hope not, because I won't come on the show if it's over. If it's in the 90s.
That'll be effectively your resignation.
Yeah, exactly. 94 is the number of times Daniel Jones is on pace to get sacked if he were to survive the entire season. Can't win. You can't win games. You can't win seasons. You can't get into playoffs. Getting your quarterback hit that many times, especially when he's mobile, and a lot of times he's getting away from even more potential sacks. So Andrew Thomas is back. Saquon Barkley is back. These are not facts. These are me, guessing at this time of the week what they are. So, of course, I'm not going to quite bet against my Giants yet. I'm going to pick them to go on the road and be in super desperation mode and kind of see what Buffalo did to Miami, run the ball, and protect your quarterback enough to give him a chance to get it to someone. Involve Waller, involve the weapons we went out and got. 24, 23. Demon, give me hope. A demon, give me hope.
All right, I'm Dames Marbs. You're up. You're muted.
I thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so I don't like arguing, you guys. I really don't. But there's 14 games left this year, and Daniel Jones got sacked 10 times last night. That's not 94. That's 140. That's 140 sacks that he's on pace for.
That doesn't average. He didn't get 10 every time. That doesn't average, Damon. That doesn't
Over
make
games,
sense.
though. If you have 14 games left and he was sacked.
I mean, okay, yeah, if we're talking about, basic statistics, we're using the Monday night game as the only sample size.
Yeah, Damon, you can't use that as the only sample.
Well, I got rid of the first 3 games.
94 is fucking bad enough, okay?
94 is pretty bad, man.
Yeah, you don't want. I mean,
The record's like 70 something, right?
Yeah, I think it would.
Are.
Russell Wilson probably. All right, so you guys, I like the Giants. I don't like that game was chippy this week, but I think they're in for more chippy games. Just because of the way that things are going for them. You know what I mean? And what I saw transpire on the field Monday night came from the top. That guy is frustrated. And he's frustrated because, like I said earlier, he's got a $160 million quarterback that he's stuck with. If they just would have swapped the 2 guys, gave him a year to see what he's got left, and the biggest,
Saquon's still hurt.
and the biggest, yeah, but if you sign him for 2 years, you get everything he has left.
As I remind you, that's what they tried to do. Then the deadlines came and they were forced. So that's how Daniel Jones got this much money on top of it. He won a playoff game. He won a playoff game on the road. They're going to give him $40 million. That's sadly how the NFL works.
Overpaying him at cost of franchise. He's overpaid. He had 15 touchdowns last year. That's not
good.
Going to cut
22. Let's not forget he gets running. His running touchdowns count. They are real. They're points on the scoreboard.
Fine.
22, which is still a pretty low number. I'm not gonna say that, but don't discount his rushing touchdowns.
I would never. All right.
Because I mean, like, that'd be like saying Jalen Hurts only threw 20, whatever. But he had like 35 total touchdowns or 38.
What I want to get to is that this team that we're looking at right now will not be the same team next season. There will be a big change, whether it's the coach moving on, them drafting a quarterback because they were that bad. Something will be shaken up. I do think they play better in this game against Miami, but I've still got Miami winning 35-21. I don't think he'll get sacked that many times. I think Saquon will be back, and that's a huge difference. So,
Right. And what I was going to say is, I'm going to take Miami winning pretty handily at home. The Giants have disappointed me. They can't score points. If they do take from the Bills what they should, where they were basically what the Bills did is they got pressure on Tua. They didn't fall for his handoff fake. They just literally went in there right at him. His percentage went down because he didn't have time to throw. So if they take those notes, do I think the Giants defense could maybe keep him in it for a while? Yes. Can Daniel Jones, hopefully if Saquon's back, control the clock? Maybe. Because again, O-line is where I'm at. Because the Jets are in a very similar boat with O-line play, and it's just when it's bad, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. Tom Brady's back there. He's going to throw for 20% with a shitty line. And you don't get sacked 11 times if your line's even mediocre. So it's probably the worst line in the league right now. So we're going against Miami's off it. You got to play the track meet. 37-17 Miami. Gobo.
You literally took my score. 37-17 Miami. Yeah, I honestly, Dolphins defense is bad. They Saquon's probably coming back. I think that makes this a closer game, but I just think, yeah, Tua is going to make a couple adjustments. I don't think the Giants are going to beat them up as bad as the Bills. I think that Miami's offense is going to get moving again. So 37-17.
Awesome. Same score pick, same channel. Make sure to get your picks in down below. Thank you for being here on NFL. We are moving on to New England. The Patsies have the Saints coming to town. I think the Patriots get a home win here. They've been win 21-20. I think, McDaniel's coming. I mean, excuse me, not McDaniel. The Saints coming to town. I feel like the Patriots need a win here. I think Belichick figures it out. They get enough to win. Doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. I think that defensive scheme will screw up the Saints. 21-20, a close one for New England. Gobo.
Is Kamara back this week?
Yeah.
Back, he already was here.
I think that's the difference. I think the Saints get a road win, defensive battle. But I think yeah, Kamara gets like at least one sort of flashy touchdown. I'm taking Saints 13-10 on the road.
James.
Yeah, I agree with Gobo. I have the exact same score.
What?
Back. Same scored games.
What was the score?
13-10.
Yeah, 13-10.
G-Man? You gonna have a little
No, I do have the Saints on the road. I think the Patriots offense is struggling to do anything, and weapons and a veteran quarterback that can navigate Belichick's defense. With the injuries, this is the beginning of the end. 20-16 Saints over Patriots.
Well, I hope you're right. Even though I did not pick that, I hope you are right. Baltimore goes to Pittsburgh. Gobo, we'll start with you on this game. What do you got going down? Lamar heading down to Trubisky land. Trubisky.
This is a tougher pick than it looks like. It's one of those. It's a trap game for sure. Division play. Tomlin just took a loss. He's one of the best coaches at recovering. But I think the Ravens are just they're rolling right now, man. They got a lot of momentum. Their defense is playing great. Lamar's making the right reads. That Zay Flowers kid is a stud. Dude can really catch it on the perimeter. I just don't think the Steelers have the talent. I think that it's gonna be close. I think Trubisky is gonna get a couple of touchdowns, maybe a couple of picks. I'm gonna go it's real simple, 21-14 Ravens.
Wow, we literally were 3 points off Gobo. I am also going to take the Ravens, but I'm going to take them 24-14. I just think the Steelers are kind of one of those teams too. I don't think their offense does that much. Can their defense be electric? Yes. Watt was a stud. Basically, that's how they won that game. The one game they won is their defense was on fire. I actually think maybe Pickett could be the worst quarterback in the league. Even if he isn't playing, it doesn't matter. It's the backup quarterback. Then they don't think that Trubisky is good enough to beat him out anyway. So he can't be that much better. Now, that being said, Lamar Jackson, I think, is the difference. They're not going to be able to stop him. He finds ways to score points, and they win this game. Dames.
Baltimore 24-21. We're all right there around the same score.
Right. G-Man.
Say, is Watt going to show up? Is Tomlin going to lose back-to-back games?
Even if Watt shows it, Watt will get 3 sacks and they'll still lose.
Not if they're strip sacks.
Woo! G-Man.
To the hizzy. 27-12, I agree with everyone. This is probably the time the Steelers will win a home game because we're all doubting them, and we say the points that could happen. Maybe Pickens gets peppered with targets, and he is just a beast, and, they win at home. But 27-12, Mark Andrews had a couple touchdowns last week, so look for that to continue to roll.
All right. Make sure you guys stick around. Last pick, we'll make that. Ricky comes on, gives you some picks to win some money if you gamble responsibly, which we know you all do. Thank you so much. Moving on, we're going down to Arizona, Cincinnati, taking another vacation because they've been vacationing all year. And Arizona comes off of a tough loss. Here's what I say about Arizona. I'm going to start this one off. I'm picking Arizona. I'm taking them 24-21 in a close one. I feel like there's too much going on in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, is he injured? Is Chase getting the ball? Is he on the hot seat as a coach? Can they rebound from these slow starts that they do every single year? So it's kind of like, can they do it again this year? I don't think so. I think Burrow's hurt more than we know, and that's kind of why they're not coming out and saying things. So I'm going to take Arizona 24-21. G-Man Jazz, who you got?
I'm going to go with Arizona as well. Cincinnati is one of these teams that it's been so frustrating. I'm done picking them. Knobs has looked good. Arizona at home has looked good. They can run the ball pretty good, and the defense is pretty fast. So Arizona 27, Cincinnati 20. Bengals struggles are real.
Gobo.
Yeah, so this is why I wish I knew a Ravens fan, because I think that this is the game that you're going to think about when you realize that's when everything went wrong. Because I think that there's everyone's kind of can't really figure out what's wrong with the Bengals yet, but I think you're going to see in this game, Arizona is going to push them around. I think, honestly, there's a chance that Joe Burrow maybe leaves this game with an injury and then goes on to IR, and then the Bengals have to reformat their entire season. Because I think that injury is much worse than they're letting people believe. Arizona, they're not a good team, but their defense has been stout against a couple of people. They played San Francisco kind of hard. They went out, upset Dallas. They have their defense is capable, and Cincinnati is just, they've looked pitiful. And I think a lot of it is because Burrow's not playing up to scale. So I'm going to say, yeah, an ugly game. It's no fun to watch. Joe Burrow leaves early. Cardinals 28, Bengals 16.
Dames Marvs.
Dude, I had the Cardinals, but I'm going to switch.
Oh.
Because I don't know.
Because we all three picked them. This is what you do.
There's some latitude to the situation.
Okay, what are you taking?
21
What's the score?
21-12.
21-12 Cincy.
Broncos.
All righty. Philly going to LA across the country. G-Man Jazz, we'll start with you. A division game for your division mates, the top of the division. Philly at Rams. Who you got?
In another game where they don't look good, Philadelphia Eagles go on to score 33 points and win 33-23. Ho-hum, touchdown for A.J. Brown, one for Swift, one for the other Smith or whoever. And, the Eagles remain undefeated, and maybe Matt Stafford doesn't finish this game. Because the defense is ferocious, and I believe he's nursing something now as well. So Eagles on the road.
Gobo.
Yeah, same as yeah, I think the Rams, they're one of those teams, they're kind of inconsistent. They haven't really seen an identity. And for whatever issues that Jalen Hurts is dealing with, I think their defense is just not playing games this year. So yeah, they're gonna go across the country, and they're gonna put it on the Rams. I think it's gonna be close. Yeah, I'll say 27-24 Eagles. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks for Hurts.
Dames.
This This Philadelphia schedule is pissing me off, you guys.
I know, right?
It's like they're a team that could beat them, yeah, but is it likely? No. But does it prove anything? No.
But they're still
Who
undefeated.
this Eagles team is, but I gotta have faith that they're gonna beat the Rams. So I got Philly 31-27.
21-27. All right. I am also taking Philly 28-24. I'm going to take a close one. Part of the reason I want Philly to win, all of the reasons you guys have all said, but also I want to set up a matchup. If the Jets beat Denver, Philly wins here. The following week, the Jets get to play Philly right before our bye week. I'm hoping the Zach Wilson progression stands and we can, we've all been talking about how Philly seems like they should be getting beat or they could get beat. And then not to put the buggy in front of the horse, but I want to see a Jets matchup with Philly when they're undefeated and us take them down. And then we go into our bye week and everybody's talking about the Jets. So
you are definitely putting it ahead. So just
And
Zach
talking about the Jets. It's just
Zach Wilson. Yeah.
It's just
Zach Wilson has to survive.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, this is the reason I did this too is because the segue goes right into the next game, which is in Denver. The Jets are coming to town. I am coming to town. I'm going to be hanging out with fellow NFHellian. We're going clubbing. And then I will be enjoying a 27-17 Jets victory. I think we do run the ball a lot better. Zach Wilson is getting more comfortable in the offense. We will have more plays. I heard Hackett talking last week. It was like, yeah, you call 2 plays in the huddle. When he had Aaron Rodgers, it was 2 plays plus 10 other plays that Aaron Rodgers could audible to. With Zach Wilson, it's 2 plays. 1 run, 1 pass, maybe 1 other one. So as you can see, when people are like, well, how come well, that's why Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT. It's, Zach Wilson, it's just going to take him a little more time. So anyway, that being said, Denver's defense is playing horrible. I think we'll continue to we'll actually make Russell Wilson kind of look like last year. Our defense is way better than any defense he's faced this year. And if, they can't get off the schneid versus all these other teams, I feel like our defense shuts him down. So again, 27-17 Jets, Gobo, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think I've been cryptic about the status of the Broncos this year. Sean Payton's got them going nowhere. The team is unenthusiastic. I mean, they pulled out a squeaker against the worst team in the league. The Jets are a good team on defense. I think Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson on offense. They got weapons. I think, Zach Wilson aside, I think the Broncos can't get this done. So yeah, I'm taking the Jets 31-14.
James.
I am going to make a prediction
Oh.
that Russell Wilson is going to be comeback player of the year this season. So far, his numbers support it. I think this is going to be a shit game. I hope you have fun. But I think Denver is going to take it at home 19-14.
Boo. G-Man.
I think maybe the comeback player of the year has come to this, but it used to be like a guy gets hurt, a guy, does this or that, misses a season for something else and comes back and then is a stud, comeback player of the year. Now it's like, oh, he played bad last year. Now he played good. I mean, how many did Russell Wilson play last year? Or am I wrong? Like, how was he comeback player of the year when he played last year?
I mean, he was bad last year. No, it's
How do you come back if you
interesting.
never played?
What's that?
Chad Pennington won it because he blew his whatever and he was
I
injured.
understand that's been how things have gone before.
Okay.
It hasn't always been that way.
I don't know. It's Russell Wilson got better this year and the Broncos somehow got worse. So I don't know how that makes sense, but that's what's going on.
Right.
I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying, like, I just in my mind, it's like the guy Like, was he coming back from a bad season? Like,
Shit year. Yeah, he's coming back from a shit year. I mean,
no, that's not everyone.
so shitty. He's coming back, and wow, he's come back.
It's
But
not just like if it was on the same team, I get you, but he went to a completely different system, and it was the complete opposite of what he'd always
So
been.
why wouldn't those player year two players that make the leap, why wouldn't they be comeback player of the year just because their stats like tripled? They came back. So anyway, that's just how the voters vote.
anyway,
But
the point is who you take, Jets or donkeys?
it's on me now.
Yeah, it's on you, bro.
I have the Jets. I have the Jets totally dominating this game. I don't think that Denver's going to do anything. This is my biggest spread of the week. 30-3. Denver just sucks.
Happy birthday to me. It's my birthday also, by the way, on that day. So, booyah. JETS. All right, Minnesota is not going to get much help because they got Kansas City coming up to town, coming off a big win against the Jets. Minnesota is also coming off a win, but I'll start this one off. Kansas City is too good. Minnesota, yeah, I mean, if they can throw the ball to Jefferson, target him 30 times maybe, get him 25 catches, they might win the game. But I just feel like, once again, KC's offense is so much better than Minnesota's defense. It might not be too pretty. That being said, I got the Chiefs 30-20. I think maybe Minnesota gets a late garbage touchdown, but it's not really that close, even though it's at 10. Gobo.
Yeah, I think Jefferson balls out a little bit and the Vikings still lose because they suck. Yeah, 35-21 Chiefs. Mahomes, he's not gonna have diarrhea like he did against the Jets. So he's gonna be playing, he's gonna be peak Mahomes. We'll get to see Taylor Swift in like a big bustly snow jacket and it'll make national news. But yeah, I mean the Vikings are just they're not going to win a lot of games this year. So yeah, 35-21 Chiefs.
G-Man Jess.
I gotta believe everything you guys both said is true. Mahomes wasn't as sharp as he wants to be against the Jets, so he's going to be double studying and all that just to come out and dominate. Minnesota will score on them, and they got that home field, so it might be close, but you know who always pulls out with it. Mahomes 35 and the Chiefs. Cousins and the Vikes 27.
James Marvs.
Kansas City 41-21.
I think we all had the Vikings scoring 21.
Oh, I am 20. G-Man had Jess, or 17 for G-Man. But yeah, but still, we all have like around. So
right, like we know that they're going to score a couple touchdowns.
Yeah. Yep.
I had 27 for me.
Yeah, yep, you did. My bad. All right, Dallas, San Fran, Sunday night game. Should be the game of the week, is the game of the week. I'm excited to watch this one. James Mars, we'll start with you on this one. Dallas at San Fran. Who you got?
Close to the town, gentlemen. San Francisco is going to win this game. They're going to prove that they're the dominant force to be dealt with in the NFC. The Cowboys are going to fall into some sadness knowing that they have been dominated thus far by the NFC West and that they got another smackdown coming in a couple weeks from the Seahawks. 33-22.
Demon Jazz.
San Francisco at home. I want to see how Purdy responds to the pressure. Parsons kind of hurt his ankle last week, so I don't know what percentage he'll be at, but 80% Parsons is still pretty good. But it comes down to Dak, and I don't have faith in Dak to get it done against Nick Bosa and this defense. So 49ers at home, 28-17. 49ers and Eagles both move to 5-0, and that'll be interesting to talk about as the season goes, how far they go.
Yep, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon, and I'm pretty sure it's not really a bandwagon because I'm sure there's a lot of people picking San Fran. I'm taking them, and it's because I feel like, yeah, Dallas's defense is good, but so is San Francisco's. San Francisco's offense is better. Their coach is better, in my opinion, as well. So I feel like they're going to have a lot more things going on. In Dallas, I feel like that Diggs injury is a lot bigger than a lot of people want to talk about it. And if the O line has been, they've been injured, off injured, if Dak can't get a running game going, it's going to be tough against this San Fran team. I'm going to take them 38-21, pulling away late, scoring a couple touchdowns at the end just to kind of make it a blowout. Gobo.
Yeah, taking the 49ers 28-18. I'm gonna I don't even know how bold of a statement this is, but I'm gonna make kind of a bold statement. Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Dak this year. I think that in Dak in his prime probably is better, but like where they are in their careers right now, I would rather have Purdy behind center. And that being said, like Dallas's offense is kind of, I mean, Tony Pollard's good, but like aside from that, CeeDee Lamb has definitely gone downhill a little bit. I mean, yeah, no more Zeke, like redo the whole system. I mean, I think that yeah, Dallas is going to struggle in scoring points in this game, and San Francisco is not going to struggle scoring points in any game this season because of who they have on offense. So yeah, 28-18 Niners, take it.
Let us know down below who you take and why. We love having you keep up. Jason, we know we're going to hear from you on this Dallas game. All right, last but not least, James Marvs.
We're moving on. Brock Purdy was 20 of 21 last week. That's really efficient.
To say the least.
Against the Dallas pressure. That's going to be something to watch.
So, and he's never lost a regular season game ever. He's really never lost one because he got fucking hurt on the one right away. So that counts. But
playoff game though.
I mean, it's a game of the week for a reason. Like these are the two best teams in the NFC, sans the Eagles. It's going to be a showdown. So there's going to be a lot of talent on the field.
No, they saved that for the Monday night football.
Monday night game when the Green Bay are you on to Vegas this weekend? Go
Oh yeah, it is in Vegas. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go ahead. We start with you, bud.
Yeah, we end up in Vegas and we miss your game. Oh no, it's on the next day. We can go to both.
Yeah, we can go to both.
Honestly, the Raiders' offensive line is terrible. I just looked at it. Garoppolo is still in concussion protocol, so I don't even remember what's the kid's name that we're playing against.
Andy McConnell.
Andy McConnell.
Yeah, so
it's Aiden
McConnell.
Aiden, please. All right.
Anyways, yeah, the Packers are going to have no problems in this game. Love can probably make a couple of bonehead plays in this game and get away with it. I think we still win big. I'm going to say Packers 38-10 on the road.
James Marvs.
God, I hope that this cockiness just gets wiped out by the Raiders.
Broncos in a couple of weeks.
By Max Crosby breaking Love in half.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who you taking, James? Who you taking?
I hate it when you're like, I'm not worried about this game. I hate that. This means it's not a fun game to watch, really. No, I also have selected Green Bay by a pretty decent margin, 28-17.
All right. That's what you have, G-Man Jazz. Okay, go ahead and go next, bud.
Same exact score. Green Bay 28-17 in Vegas. Doesn't really mean it's a road game. There are plenty of Packer fans that probably want to make a trip to Vegas every once in a while, and this is the perfect opportunity. So that's what Vegas gets when they have a team there. A lot of visitors there for the opposing team. And like you said, Max Crosby might do his thing. Love is going to do his thing. And, talent wins out in coaching. McDaniels, please. Hot seat. Getting hotter.
I'm going to end this week of NFL Week 5, taking the Packers on the road as well. I'm going to have a little closer. I'm going to say this game is going to go to overtime with the Packers kicking a field goal to win it, 17-14. I just think, it's going to be a close game. It's a Monday night game. Let's get one that's close, huh? Come on, tired of these blowouts.
More.
No, you want more blowouts? I guess when it's your team.
I'll take a blowout.
Yeah, that's true. Don't forget Ricky's picks coming up in T minus. Thanks for viewing. Keep coming back. We love having you. NFHell, Midwest Jet, G-Men Jazz, Gobo, Dames Marvs, Ricky's picks up next.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Montalvo back here again for your NFL Week 5 slate. Coming off a W week on the bounce back. Like I said, we were going to. Baby, doesn't it feel nice to go 3-1 on the week with the bonus. We are going to touch here a little bit of what we did last week to review. We had the Packers plus 1.5. That one never really in question. Packers offensive line could not compete with what the Lions were putting down. And the Lions showed why they were the favorite to win this division going into NFL futures back in the summer. So shout out the Lions, good win. Hopefully the Packers can get a bounce back here. Bills minus 2.5. I told a lot of you that the Dolphins had really exceeded some of my expectations early in the season, but this was the comeback down to earth spot. We got that spot as the Bills laid it on thick at home versus the Dolphins. Really kind of felt like a no sweat there for that one. We had the Titans plus 2.5. I told you the Bengals offense it didn't look right. It didn't look right here. Titans were fired up for this one. A nice no sweat. Again, I was feeling really good on Sunday, backing these positions. And right now we're looking pretty good. We had the bonus bet, the Bears plus 3.5. So speaking of no sweats, this one really exceeded my expectation. If you actually watched this game, the Bears were sitting really comfy, but a fumble 6 by Justin Fields put this one in jeopardy for us. But lucky for you, I've seen into the future. And if you go back to last week, right here in the Ricky Picks segment, I told you Broncos probably going to drive down the field, kick a field goal, call it a day. If you also remember last week, I told you make sure you get the hook at the 3.5. And if you did, you covered this game, as the Broncos did indeed kick a field goal to win it, putting our record at the 3-1. So to review for the season, we are currently sitting at 9-5, which means that we are at plus 3.5 units, which means if you're $100 better, you'd be up $350. So a nice little record here we have going on for us. A good bounce back for us after our first losing week. And we press on to get back in here in the trenches to see what we can come up with on this Sunday slate. So I always try to give a teaching lesson, and my buddy who is tracking along with this is going to provide it to us this week because he did the no-no. He parlayed my picks. Now, I think I may have mentioned parlaying in the first week with you guys. When I first introduced this, I said, don't parlay my picks. We bet straight. And this is why. First of all, 3-1, phenomenal week. We love that. But if you parlayed it, you didn't get anything. And, go back and watch my video last week. I told you guys, this is about just slowly rising up the platforms. Sometimes we take a step back, but we keep climbing. And before you know it, we're up here. We're to the moon. And we're counting our funds. So straight betting, my friends. keep your juice standard when you're betting. Don't be buying a bunch of points unnecessarily. We'll touch more on that in the future, but no parlay en français, okay? Stay away, stay straight on these picks. If you are someone that likes to parlay and build wild tickets and throw a little money at it, that's great too. Have fun with that. But if you're a serious bettor like I am, go ahead, just lay down your unit size, your 1 unit size on these picks. Slow and steady will win this race. All right, my friends. So we move on to our slate here for Sunday with our first pick of Ricky's picks. Here, week 5, we have the Houston Texans traveling to the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is noon on the Sunday slate. So, friends, we've got right now 2s popped up everywhere. I'm seeing some 2.5s. This number has been moving around like wild. It opened, I think, 3, and it dropped down to 1. It's back to 2. So the money is flying all over the place right now. But let me try to just break that down for you, and let's use a little critical thinking here for what we're trying to get done. So everybody, welcome to the CJ Stroud show. We saw CJ Stroud go out there and just dominate Steelers defense, which is really not living up to their usual hype of how well they're coached by Mike Tomlin. So Stroud goes out there, he does all the right moves. He's playing out of his mind right now. And this is not the spot for them, in my opinion. All that being said, I think this is actually a great spot for Atlanta. So we're going to kind of hit with a buy low, sell high. The Texans there's a lot to be excited about there, but a lot of people are talking about him, CJ Stroud, that is, and the Texans, and Atlanta just kind of laying an egg again last week. No one really wants to back them. And I've told one of our hosts here that if I give you a bet that sounds really and you hear me say it, you go, if you say to yourself, are you sure, Ricky? Then probably I'm onto something, okay? A lot of people giving up on the Falcons here. I expect the Texans to be the public dog of the week. And typically in gambling, you want to back dogs, but not really public dogs. It's usually not too profitable. But the hype is at an all-time high right now. And I just see this as being a letdown spot for a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach traveling to Atlanta, where the pretty terrible Desmond Ridder does play exceptionally well. The Falcons are good at home. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a kind of a meltdown game, but at the same time, I'm not taking away anything from the Texans. This is just a good spot to invest in the Falcons. So that being said, give me the Atlanta Falcons at home, -2. I see one book popping at 2.5, but again, as of this recording on a Tuesday, we should see, pretty solid lines here, 2.5 with the Falcons. So when you get this on Wednesday, lay that down. First pick of Ricky's picks here. And our second pick on the slate, we have the Saints traveling to the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. Another noon game here for you. This line currently tucked in at 1.5 across the books. Right now, the Saints offense is performing pretty poorly. Derek Carr was a little banged up this last game. The offensive coordinator, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a swap at some point in time with him. But on the other side of this, and something that has gotten me with backing the Patriots in certain positions, has been the offense and Mac Jones being a gigantic issue. And now the upside of backing a Patriots team, which was their defense, has just been neutered. Their star on the line, Matthew Judon, he's out, biceps tear. Christian Gonzalez, their standout rookie cornerback, he's out. He's slated to miss some time. Really unfortunate for the Patriots. But to me, I think pros will probably come in on the Patriots and the sharp action will go there, but I'm not buying. I like the Saints here in this position. I don't care if Carr is in or out. I think the Patriots should be the underdog here. And I don't think Bill Belichick has really been able to figure out what to do with this team. And Patriots fan, it might be time to start talking about tanking here a little bit. But that's just my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt, my friends. So go ahead and give me the New Orleans Saints plus 1.5, the official second pick. Again, this one's tucked in on the 1.5. So lock that up. And finally, for our third pick here of Ricky's picks, I am going to give you what should be the game of the week. We are going Sunday Night Football as the Dallas Cowboys travel to the San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium in prime time. This spot is classic Niners v. Cowboys. Classic Dak. Let me break this down for you. Ask yourself a question. Who do you think is better, the Cowboys or the 49ers? Before I give you my pick, think for yourself. My answer is the 49ers. The 49ers have gotten better from last year, which I did not expect. Brock Purdy, I thought there would be some regression once they got more tape of him, but he's still running the offense very well. And I think the biggest reason is, well, I don't think, I know the biggest reason is Christian freaking McCaffrey has just been unstoppable. I thought that they might manage his touches. They have no plans of doing that. It is all McCaffrey all day, and he is making play after play. This guy just, even for his age, just doesn't quit. He should have been our first round or our first choice in all fantasy drafts, but here we are. The Cowboys are bad against the run. They have a pretty solid secondary, and I take nothing away from the pass rush and what the team can do on defense. It's still a good defense. It's still a good team. But I think that the key to the game is McCaffrey, and we're going to get lots of them here. I would imagine there'd be some chasing for the public to back them boys as dogs on the road here. But this is one I would lock up as soon as you get this pick here. I think there's a coaching mismatch. I think Shanahan's better. I don't like to say that I'm fading McCarthy. I think that's a tired narrative. I think McCarthy's a good coach, but I think Shanahan's the better coach. And if you've looked at Dak's history, Dak is really good at beating up on bad teams. The Cardinals' loss, in my mind, isn't as bad as people perceive it, because I think the Cardinals are more game than we all anticipated. They're kind of like this year's Seattle Seahawks, where it's just like, whoa, maybe they're not tanking. Maybe they're not the worst team in the league. Josh Dobbs really showing out, and so are the new head coach for the Cardinals. That all being said, he blows out bad teams, but he usually loses to the good ones, the best teams, the elite teams. And that's what the Niners are. They're just elite right now. So give me the San Francisco 49ers at -3.5. I'm seeing some 4s pop up. They're starting to creep out there. I would take this to 4. I'd be fine with the 4, but I'm hoping you get the 3.5 here with me. But back this team that has just one of the best run schemes, and they're going to use it. San Francisco 49ers, third pick or Ricky's picks. All right. So no parlay in this one. My friends, as always, please gamble responsibly. Please stick to your unit size. I'm going to say this every single week. And if you're new to gambling, just watch me, follow along. All right, my friends. This has been Ricky's Picks. I'm Ricky Montalvo, and I will see all of you in the trenches.